The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Victory Monday continues, but Aaron Glenn got into it with reporters this morning over who the quarterback is on Thursday. We'll talk about that and much more. We got Will Parkinson and Frankie V both joining us. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
We building something, and it's not always going to be pretty. Who want to fly with the Jets?
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, here on a Monday. Thanks to Gator for the updated intro. Reminder, hey, join the Patreon. If you're a fan of the show, get bonus shows on Patreon. Get your name added to the intro. Find out about exclusive events, 20% off every merch item. And, oh, yeah, access to our Discord where we have had some of the funniest memes posted since the Jets got a win yesterday over the Browns. So, again, it's patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. If you join for the year, you save 15%. It's just $6 a month to support the show. Check it out, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Let's continue the conversation about the Jets. And since we started doing these combo shows with these two esteemed guests, the Jets haven't lost. So we will keep it rolling. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of the Turn on the Jets podcast, Will Parkinson, and the co-founder of U Stadium and the host of the Gangs All Here podcast, Frankie V, joined us. Now, gentlemen, 2 straight wins for your New York Jets. How we feeling?
It's a winning streak, boys. The winning streak. You know, I told people if you weren't with us before winning streaks, don't be with us now. That's it. It's a winning streak.
Listen, I said like a couple weeks ago that like, hey, what's your going into the bye week? What's your expectation the remainder of the year? I think this was by far Glenn's biggest test in a lot of senses. Was like he did one thing that hopefully can continue throughout further years because we know he's going to be back. Is like. They look prepared out of a bye week. Browns are not. Dog shit quarterback or not. Like, the special teams is ready to go. They were well coached yesterday. Glenn kind of seems to have stabilized. And, like, other than the young players, the biggest key was the coaches, the staff, especially Engstrand, Glenn, and Banjo, because I think that's the 3 we think are going to be back for sure, figuring it out. And if they can continue to look competent, let's see what happens. It's just the Browns. But if those type of things happen, it's hard not to feel like, hey, the Jets have won a couple games in a row. The negativity kind of, the tide stemmed a little bit. And they traded 2 of their most big-name players. They got great value. I think everyone understood that. And then they actually went out and won. And it was like they handled the smallest bit of success. But the last time, I think you guys would agree, they had like anybody saying anything good about them was post-Steelers game. And then they got steamrolled by Buffalo by 100 points. This was at least like, hey, people were kind of higher on the Jets this week because of some of the moves they made and different things. And then they actually went out and won a football game, which we just don't really see ever from the Jets. They never can put 1 and 1 and equal 2. It's always like 1 step back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So, yeah.
Well, it's the first time they won back-to-back games since week 2 and week 3 of last season. That's how long it's been.
Even those, you left that game going, oh, the Titans kind of stink. Like, they should have blown the doors off the Titans. They weren't very good. They beat New England, and then they pooped their pants against the Broncos and Vikings last year. So it's like it all went downhill, and those were high expectation teams. The Jets had the bye last year, Jake. I think so much back. I think, if I'm not mistaken, fellas, last year, basically this was the Cardinals game last year, right? I think it was literally the exact same day last year. They played the Texans on that Thursday night. While it was unrealistic, there was a path of like, ooh, they might be able to figure it out and get to 9-8, 10-7 because Devontae's here. The offense started to click in that second half. The Texans were a good team. And then they got steamrolled in Arizona. And it was like, oh, it's over. Like, this is so over. It was just nice yesterday to be like, I don't know. I just like that some of the young players made good plays and like the coaching staff didn't look terrible. Like I know it's a low bar, but I did feel like leaving that game, I was like, oh, maybe it was such a rocky first 7-8 weeks, and maybe it's just a competition, but I did like to see like, I don't know, Will McDonald happy, have 4 sacks. It was like a cool moment. Brees like not pouting after a game. Like those things are little things, but they do matter at least a little bit.
The way they won those games too, the last 2 games, I think is important.
Yep.
They found ways to finish the game. It wasn't like we necessarily got lucky. At both games, you saw the Bengals game, we were, chomping at the bit to get the ball back to score yet again. And last game, yesterday, they managed to just get Brees involved at the end just enough to win it out. Like you see good teams doing things like that to finish out games. It's not like, we had a pick 6 or something, which God forbid that happens, right? But they finished the games out, which, listen, I'm sorry I have some pro tanky people out there. I'm very sorry. The tank right now is on pause. We're going to pause the tank for a few more weeks. So, for all the tankers out there, it's not the best situation, but it's too early. I tell people it's week 10. Let's finish.
Yeah, If this was the 1-16 Jets against, or 1-15 Jets against the 2-14 Browns, and they won 7-6 yesterday, I'd understand. I totally understand. Like, hey, we were picking one. There's the no-brainer guy. I'd get that. Like the Rams game and those ones, like to me, made sense, and they were meaningless games. I'm not saying this is a meaningful game because the Jets are obviously like not technically eliminated, but I also feel like this is still early enough in the year where everyone's trying. There's no like, it just. To me, like if Glenn's going to be the guy, they made a big balls move, 2 pretty like impactful moves this week that this team could have quit. Like they really could have been like, dude, they're trading everybody. They have no loyalty to me. Like they just paid Sauce and traded him within 8 weeks. Like Quincy could have just been like, I'm not playing for you. Like that really could have had. Brees could have been like, I told you I wanted to be traded. You didn't trade me. I don't know. I feel like that stuff, those little things do matter if they're going to figure it out long term. And I don't know how you guys feel, but I'd much rather at this point, and maybe this is a controversial take, and this is probably me being an optimist, but if they, let's just say, I'll go conservatively, they win a couple more games, that the Saints game, maybe Miami, one of Atlanta or Jacksonville, something like that. I'm not saying they upset the Patriots and stuff like that, although it'd be nice. They finished 5-12, but you're like, oh, they finished the year 5-5. Engstrand's really developing. The offensive line staff and, offensive staff as a whole kind of figured it out. Banjo looks to be like a legit head coach. Glenn's not making goofy errors. I'd feel much better about any quarterback next year than them just bottom out. Everyone on the staff looks like crap. Like that's what the Giants just did. The Giants just brought back a terrible staff with a young quarterback who's now been in concussion protocol 5 times in 8 starts. They fired their head coach. They're going to fire their defensive coordinator. They're keeping their GM. Like, I don't want to be that. I want just like to be happy about at least something going forward.
The Giants did the McCagnon, where McCagnon got to fire Bowles, and then McCagnon stuck around, and then McCagnon to get fired by Chase.
Rex stayed, and they fired. And they brought in Idzik with just I don't know. None of that ever works. It just never works.
Well, here's the thing, right? There's a ton of positives from the game, but at the same time, we all have to acknowledge they won, and they got 2 great, unbelievable special teams plays. That's not, sustainable week over week, getting 14 points from your special teams. Well, I mean, you're there. I'm hearing from fans on the postgame show last night. Like, if Aaron Glenn benched Justin Fields at halftime, it would have been justifiable for how bad he was. But the fact that it was 17-all because of those special team points, I think he didn't want to start a quarterback controversy with the game tied in a short week. But now, like, looking ahead, I mean, if it wasn't for the guys whose jersey I'm wearing, Brees Hall making a great individual play, I mean, Justin Fields, he had, once again, his 4th start this year with under 60 passing yards. That's 4 times in 8 starts he's done that. So, to me, if they made a change Thursday night to Tyrod, it would be fair. Like, they won, and that's great, but they won in spite of their quarterback yesterday, and that's a real problem now going forward because you're trying to evaluate Engstrand as a play caller, and he's handcuffed with Fields. You're trying to evaluate A.D. Mitchell and John Mechie and Arian Smith. Do we have anything here next to Garrett for next year? And if you can't run just a normal offense because Fields is that bad, you can't do any of that. And that's a real problem now going forward over these next 8 games.
Yeah, I do wonder if they're almost not, I don't want to call it scared because it's not fair. It's the wrong term to use. But like they did the play Fields, bench him, and then Tyrod got hurt immediately. And I do wonder if they have like almost PTSD of the Panthers game where it's like, we just keep ending right back up with Fields. It's like the Zach thing from a couple years ago. It's like you keep benching him and telling him he sucks, and then he's like a cat with 9 lives. Look, Fields was really bad yesterday. You knew it right away. You know with Fields from the first 2 drives if it's going to be one of those days or it's not. He usually either starts with a couple of completions, he's running around a little bit, he's kind of got a little pep in his step, or it's like he's just getting beat up the whole game. It's like he's like a glutton for punishment. He just like stands there and doesn't do anything. The interception's as bad as it gets. I know Glenn has to defend it publicly.
Oh, we'll get to Glenn's comments on the QB
Listen, I
situation.
understand you're going to have to always back up your player and be like, hey, that was a terrible read. Dude, he dropped back and was staring at that read the whole time. They could have been in any coverage that's ever existed in the history of life. He was still throwing the football. And it just it did stink at that point in the game. I will say that was really frustrating because the Jets had total control of that game. The defense had the one drive. Other than that, they looked really good yesterday. I felt like, generally speaking, like I thought they all in all played a decent game. It's Dylan Gabriel, yes, but like they were fine yesterday. And like the special teams was moving and the offense wasn't like messing it up. It was kind of just, they kind of were just kind of existing. And they let the Browns back in the game because Justin Fields throws a bad pick back up in his own end zone. And overall, man, like he's just not good. And I don't, he's a good dude and he's had a couple moments, but he's just not good. Like he's not a good quarterback and he's not a very good football player right now. And I don't know if you feel this way, Frankie, but like he really doesn't run much anymore. It's like,
doesn't.
And it's like when he does run, it's like not really a super productive run. It's like doesn't make anybody miss. It's like he kind of is always tripping. I don't know if you mentioned it yesterday. It was like the third and long. And he took off and like just tripped. And I'm like, geez, man, like I feel bad, but like he just, I don't know what your options really are. Brady Cook's not ready, and I'm probably not very good. Tyrod's gonna, I don't know. Tyrod on Thursday makes sense. The Patriots pass rush isn't great. Your offensive line's good. You need some threat against a Vrabel team, but at the same time, is he healthy? I don't know what the deal is with Tyrod. It's a little bit of a weird one since the Panthers game.
Real quick, Frankie, I got some breaking news that's not good.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Rich Samini's reporting that Garrett Wilson is going to miss at least 3 to 4 weeks with a knee sprain. No surgery, so
Will we see Garrett again the rest of the year? I'm not so sure.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see what's their record after these next. Let's say he misses 4 games, and this is a bummer because they had the bye. You were hoping he'd be healthy, and then he re-aggravated the injury. And my frustration with the injury in the first place is that Justin Fields throwing him a hospital ball at the end of the game in London against Denver is why he got hurt in the first place. So now you're not going to have Garrett. This to me screams Tyrod Taylor should be the starting quarterback on Thursday. We'll get to what Glenn said about it and the games he's playing again with the media and all that. But I mean, no Garrett. Now you really need Mechie to come in and play. You need obviously something from Mitchell, who's going to get a real opportunity here to be the guy maybe in this offense. I think at some point they might get Josh Reynolds off IR here, but this is a huge blow. And it sucks for Garrett because he was having a great year before these injuries, even with the issues the Jets have had at the quarterback spot. So it's a bummer because I don't think he's going to have enough time to get over 1,000 yards now and keep that streak going.
Yeah, man, that's rough. You saw the play that he actually got hurt on. He actually hit the turf pretty hard, so you could tell that he hit that knee directly on the turf.
Yeah, caught up in it instantly. It was like, shit.
Yeah. So if he was dealing with the hyperextension, he hit his knee on the turf. Maybe it extended a little bit more. You got a sprain there. Good thing is it's not a serious injury, a knee sprain. You take a month off, you're back, you're ready to go. But Aaron Glenn spoke about something today with Justin Fields that I was noticing watching the game yesterday. I haven't looked at the all-22 yet. They're in cover 0, stack in the box all game. They're not playing 2 deep safeties. They're not playing 1 deep safety. You literally can just consolidate a defense versus the Jets and just have everyone playing in the box. They're not taking shots down the field. They don't even try to. So do I blame Tanner Engstrand a bit out there? A little bit, but no one's gotten Justin Fields since he's been in the league. No one's gotten that kid to want to throw the ball down the field. And for whatever reason, Will's right. You can see it on him the first couple drives. He's a little gun shy, seems a little timid today for whatever reason. It's like he woke up on the wrong side of the bed, I say with him sometimes. He's not feeling it, and nothing's going to happen offensively. Yeah, this is bad news for Jake. This is bad news for any quarterback coming in, by the way. I mean, you think Tyrod Taylor is going to be successful playing football without Garrett Wilson out there? I mean, you're wide receiver 1 now, becomes Tyler Johnson, who did he even play yesterday? I missed that.
Barely.
Yeah. Our leading receiver yesterday was Isaiah Williams, receiver, not Breece Hall. Isaiah Williams with 1 catch for 4 yards. How you win a football game throwing 1 passing first down, of which was a screen to Breece, is unbelievable. We scored 27 points with 1 passing first down and no defensive touchdowns. That's wild, right? Like you'll never
14 points on special teams.
No, right? Like the tank commander. Hey guys, yeah, this tanking stuff. Just to kind of put a bow on it. Listen, there is not a quarterback. We can speak about this later if you guys want. I can go through some stuff with you guys, or we could talk about it later on. There's not one clear-cut quarterback right now that we should be in love with that would be there, and we have to be there at with the first overall pick to take this quarterback. If there was, I'm having a little bit of a different conversation, but there isn't. Let the season play out. Let these guys play football. Worry about a week 15 or 16.
I will say this for Garrett Wilson. Wish him well. Put him on ice till 2026 if he's not 100%. By the time those 4 weeks are up, because we know what he is. He's an elite number 1 wide receiver. He was having a great year. It is a shame, but injuries happen, and I'm glad that he got his contract, so we don't have to worry about all that. Now, as far as Glenn and the quarterback situation, so he gives his opening statement today, and we're now at a point where he is including in his opening statement by letting the media know in advance, hey, don't ask me any questions about the quarterback. So he's not even waiting for the questions anymore to come in. He's now going out of his way to get it started in advance of the questions. This was the full exchange, edited down to just the questions pertaining to what Aaron Glenn did not want to be asked about, but was still asked about anyway.
Other than that, I would say this: please don't ask me anything about the quarterbacks. I'm not going to tell you, and I don't want to waste my time when it comes to that. When it comes to who's starting. So, any other questions?
Real quick, why? Why? You don't need to do this, but all right. He has to
kind of like it, Jake, a little bit.
It's funny, but it's just like, oh man. But honestly, this is the week he can get a competitive advantage. You better start Tyrod on Thursday. There you go. Here's the rest of Glenn versus the media.
Aaron, after watching the tape, how would you evaluate the way Justin played yesterday?
You know what? Collectively, as an offense, I think we did some good things. The thing is, when you get 2 returns like that on special teams, the offense doesn't have a good amount of plays. Especially in the passing game. We only threw 11 passes. I think he was 6 of 11. Obviously, there's some things that we got to clean up there, but there are also some good things that he did. I know he threw the 1 pick. I would say this. I was happy that he tried to force the ball, get the ball downfield in that situation. I thought Cleveland did a hell of a job in that coverage. They ran this inverted 2 where the safety would end up being the middle runner, and I thought they did a good job with that.
Aaron, I'm not going to ask you specifically about who's starting, obviously, because you don't want us to do that, but I am curious, is this like a week-by-week, day-by-day thing for you? Because it is unusual, having led you guys or helped lead you to 2 wins in a row. Is that, or is this a constant evaluation, I guess is what I'm asking?
Well, I keep telling you guys, between the players and myself, we know exactly who's going to be the quarterback. I mean, I just don't have to tell you guys that.
I understand that, but I mean, what goes into that is what I'm asking.
They practice.
Really?
Yeah.
Like it's so silly.
Practice, really? And he's like, yeah. I've never heard that before.
It's just like picking a battle that's unnecessary. I even said this to Mike Tannenbaum on the radio yesterday, and Mike goes, that's actually a fair point. And this is a guy that's obviously been in New York media. He was a huge advocate for Glenn, was in the interview process early on and all that. I go, Mike, if he comes out and just says, look, I know it might sound crazy, but I want to try and gain any competitive advantage I could get, so I'm not going to announce who the quarterback is. Please just respect that. Or some version of that where it's not like antagonizing the media, being like, I don't want to tell you guys. There's a way to word it better where it's not a story every week. And he makes it a bigger story. When he starts his presser in the opening statement being like, oh, don't ask me any questions about the quarterback. You're setting yourself up to then be asked questions about the quarterback.
Jake, let me
you're
ask
trying
you a
to
question.
get ahead of it,
Do you think he's doing that intentionally? I'm starting to think he wants to come out. He wants to come out with 2 gloves on. Like he wants to channel his inner Parcells. And he's doing, Jake, I think at this point he's doing it on purpose. I think he wants us to tell the media to go F themselves.
Can you beat Bill Parcells when you're 2-7?
No, not yet.
That's the problem. You have wins over the worst defense ever in the Cleveland Browns. I'll tell you what, he could do whatever he wants if he beats New England on Thursday on the road, because that would be by far and away the most impressive win the Jets have had in years if they pull that off. But I don't know. I just think he's picking an unnecessary battle here that he doesn't have to do. I just think it's adding to the list of potential things he has to deal with as a coach that distracts from the ultimate goal that we all want to see as Jet fans, this team winning games.
Yeah, I think it's on purpose. I think it's a little Rex Ryan-ish too, where it's like, I'll do all the talking. I'll take all the bullets. Like, he knows Fields isn't good. He's aware. You know what I mean? He's aware Fields isn't very good. He's aware.
I like he only threw 11 times as the excuse.
The best excuse was like, how do you think Fields plays? Like, well, the offense, as a whole didn't need to do much. It's like, oh, okay. I think that he's just kind of going with that approach of the Belichick, Rex, Parcells, whoever you want to call it. Even Sean Payton does this, where it's like, I'm not going to give you anything. And not only am I not going to give you anything, I'm going to probably push your buttons a little bit because the story is about me and it's not about my team. And especially when they're winning, it's easier to do that, right? It's easier to be like, hey, we're 2-0 since I started doing this whole shtick. And hey, we're 2-0. By the way, the Jets being 2-0 basically without Garrett really in either game, obviously, and Sauce being out is objectively hysterical. Crazy. Like, it's like it's classic Jets. But no, man, I don't like. It's annoying in a lot of senses because it does cause more of a conversation, but also I think they don't want to back themselves into a corner where they have to just like name Fields the guy, because I think they want to have the option they can bench him if they want to. But I really just think it comes down to, I'm taking the bullets. I'll be the bad guy. I can handle it. And like, no one will talk about it's going 6-11 with a negative 7.9 CPOE. I think that's kind of the goal here a little bit.
I mean, it's just dumb. Look at this passing chart. Look at it. They had 2 completions in front of the line of scrimmage.
That's
like,
incredible.
It almost feels like I do wonder, like, what happens if he doesn't address it? Like, are the people going to keep asking? Like, it's almost a game now. It's like, how can they ask like the same question? It's like a challenge to the beat guys, like how they can ask the same question 800 different ways, and Glenn can answer it 800 different times, saying, I'm not going to talk about the quarterback while talking about the quarterback. I think Glenn's telling you Fields is not good, but right now he's our best option to start because we don't trust Tyrod's health. Like, that's what I feel like he's saying.
That's a good way to look at it. Maybe that is what he's saying, and he gives himself an out potentially too if Fields does start playing badly, which he is. I mean,
times this year early on.
Yeah.
Obviously the infamous "we're trying to win now" comment at the combine. But also there was the Brees thing where it's like, I'm not trading Brees, and then I think he kind of walked back and was like, well, I shouldn't say that because it's not like we know anything could happen. So I think he's kind of trying to. Again, I don't want to give Glenn too much credit and shower him too much praise, but I do feel like I've seen an improvement on like setting more real. He walked back to like proud of how you can be proud of his comment, because I think he probably realized like that comment's so open-ended that anybody could interpret anything from that comment, and maybe kind of went to more of the traditional like, no, we're going to take it week by week and different things like that. Dude, New York, when you say something stupid, like people are going to eat you alive for it, and I think he's trying to almost say dumb things now and kind of just be like a pretty boring presser. Like, you're not really getting much out of this.
He's doing the opposite though, Will. Like that, like he's doing the opposite. That's what I'm saying. Like the Jets PR, like, are they just afraid to say, hey, dude, don't take this approach? It's going to come back and it's going to bite you in the ass, because the Jets are probably not going to be that much better next year if they start a rookie quarterback, unless we get Jaden Daniels or CJ Stroud in year one. The team's going to go through growing pains again with a rookie quarterback next year. It's not going to be a playoff mandate or playoff expectations. So there's going to be some rough moments again next year. And the media is not going to be as nice and patient with him if they're an embarrassment in year 2. We know he's surviving year 1, but like, to me, it's an unnecessary battle that he's going out of his way to fight with the media. And if that's what he wants to do, fine, but you better win. Otherwise, the media is going to just make it a lot harder for him to do his job at a higher level next year.
Gun to your head, do you think that's a rookie quarterback?
I do.
Frankie, what about you? I feel like you're.
I don't. I really don't. I think they're going to go with
Will, you mean
Fields
starting week
or
1?
a veteran. Yeah.
Who starts the most games next year?
A rookie.
Obviously, theoretically, if they draft someone, they could do the.
I would agree a rookie definitely is going to start the most games, but I don't think week 1 they're going to come in with a rookie. I don't.
I don't think it's going to be Fields starting week 1, though.
Yeah, it's not going to be Fields. I don't know why I said that. It's not going to be Fields starting.
Probably have post June 1 at this point, right?
Yeah, probably.
Knowing with the money, but like, I don't know, dude. Like, how do you
He's
go
brutal,
to that?
dude. He's brutal. And also, I'll try and be positive because people are like, oh, we beat the Browns. We're back, baby. Super Bowl. So to those people, here's your positive stat of the day. The Jets are undefeated when Aaron Glenn doesn't announce a starting quarterback. So if it works on Thursday, God bless him. Keep it rolling into Baltimore 10 days after that.
I'm telling you that.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say Thursday is going to be the litmus test as to what Aaron Glenn's done up until this point in the season. You take these last 2 wins, let's just call a spade a spade. They're not some impressive, like
bad team beating another.
Yeah, miraculously too. You saw that Rich Samini stat, Jake, you brought up, I think, on your earlier show. Teams that have less than 175 total yards and don't turn the ball over or whatever, haven't turned the ball over. They're 255-0, and we won that one game. And then the Bengals game, they had a 97.5% chance to beat us, and we won. Listen, wins are wins. We probably should have won a game earlier in the year if Isaiah Williams or Gibson doesn't fumble. So whatever, I'll take it.
I think they're better than their record from a talent standpoint. Like, that's why I don't freak out over, we're not going to get the number 1 pick. Great. They never should have been in position to get the number 1 pick. This is not an awful, awful roster. There's good players on this team. The offensive line is 2 foundational tackles, right? Like, Joe Tippins really good. You have players on this team. They never should have been in the conversation to get the number 1 pick. And if they got to move up to get a quarterback they like a couple spots, they're armed with the ability to do it. I thought that was the whole point of making these deals. It's all about getting the quarterback now.
Twitter is so funny, man.
The question for you guys is this, though. This is my question for you, Jake and Will. If in 2026 you're drafting 5th or 6th, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want, let's say, Fernando Mendoza, would you trade up for that player? And if you were to trade up for that player and that player doesn't work out, are you willing to go into 2027 with a clean slate at quarterback, potentially draft another one? Because that's the question you have to ask yourselves.
Yes.
Is it worth? I would, but Jake, you understand when you spend resources and you tell your franchise and you tell everyone, and it's what's out there. It's what the media is going to get all the signals that this guy's the guy. And then you're going to say a year later, well, you know what? Maybe he wasn't the guy. Let's use these other picks and get another guy, which I'm fine with. You draft the quarterback until you find the quarterback, but that's a hard sell. That's not an easy and common thing in football. So I'm just saying you got to be willing to do that. I would rather maybe stay at wherever you're drafting and see who the best player available is if it happens to be one of the quarterbacks. But if they really like one of these kids, Mendoza or Simpson or more.
Well, doesn't it depend on the cost, Frankie? Like, obviously, if you tell me, hey, the Jets are at 5 and they got to get to 1, you got to trade your 3. Like, no, I'm not going to trade my 3 first-round picks to move up 4 spots for an unproven rookie. But if it took, let's say the Jets are at pick 6 and they got to get to pick 2, because let's say Tennessee is at pick 2 and one of the quarterbacks they love is still there, to move up and have to trade one of my first-rounders in 27, yeah, like that's why you made these deals, because we've seen the Jets have talented teams that don't win without the quarterback. They've hit on the pick. We all say, now they got to hit on the picks. No, they need to hit on the quarterback.
Yeah.
But no one's saying you're trading away all your capital to get up there, but now you have the resource to trade some of that capital.
But you realize, Jake, making that move, you're making a move like that, which I agree with you. If you really like one of these quarterbacks, make that move, pull that trigger. But when you pull that trigger, you pull that trigger now.
Right.
That sets you back the next year if there is a quarterback. I'm just saying.
Every regime, though. How else do you get a quarterback nowadays? You know, they tried it with Fields. That was their lottery ticket. It didn't work. It went way worse than any of us could have imagined, because he's as bad as Fields might have been at times in Chicago or Pittsburgh. It was never this. So that's concerning. But like, I think that's the whole point. And if they're god awful again in 2026, guess what? You could do the Josh Rosen, Kyler Murray thing. Like that's still an option to you too. Do we want that? No, but I think everything they do now going forward has to be geared towards identifying who the quarterback is, getting him, and then surrounding him with what he needs to be successful.
I'm with you. I think do it in 26. If it doesn't work, do it again in 27. Try to keep all those first round picks in 27 intact, though. I would rather, I'm not even kidding, if you're going to make the move that you're suggesting, Jake, I'd rather use the second first rounder we have in 26. You want to trade up a few spots, give him that other pick, make your bet with one of these quarterbacks if you want, and then save your 3 first-rounders in 27. That's what I would personally do.
I agree with that, but like I thought you were asking specifically about using the first. There's a scenario where the Jets could move up a couple spots and not have to give up any first,
For
other
sure.
than swapping their own, a second this year and a 3 next year for all we like. Look at the trade charts. It's not as daunting as some think, especially if you look at the draft order now. We know that's going to change a million times from now until when the order is actually set. But like, there are several teams that could be in front of the Jets, the Giants included, that don't need a quarterback.
We all like Tennessee's not. Are we sure New Orleans is? Like they might. Like
we don't know yet. We'll find out.
Yet. The Giants obviously aren't. The Browns are very like they should, but are they going to like? What are they doing with their whole regime? Like, what are they doing? The Raiders. Again, I don't know. They could easily cut Geno, but is Pete going to go with the whole rookie quarterback route? They didn't do it a year ago. I also wonder, like, right now it feels like the Jets' best case scenario is they stay put wherever they pick. If there's a guy like the Jackson Dart situation last year, everyone thought the Giants had needed to trade up. And again, I use the Giants as the example of what not to do, where you like keep a head coach that sucks because you're hoping for the quarterback. But the Giants also in some ways played it right, where they're like, I'm not trading up multiple ones to go get Shedeur Sanders. No one's going to take Jackson Dart too. In hindsight, the Browns probably should have just taken Jackson Dart, obviously. But like the Giants stayed put and then they made the move up. Like, isn't there a scenario where, I don't know, it probably won't be a John Mateer, but someone in that ilk where it's like you're not a top 5 pick, but you're a guy who like could be a first round pick, very much what Dart was last year. Yeah. You take multiple guys and you package picks at the end of the first round. That's what the Ravens did. That's what teams have done. Or like there's a million scenarios to solve quarterback. I just wonder, like, are the Jets better off using the 4 top 50 assets they're going to have on like building the rest of their roster with multiple receivers, an edge rusher, and a safety, whatever it is, or linebacker? You pick your poison. Like I'd want Arizona to be like, I'll take your first round pick and Kyler Murray, and I'll eat the entire contract and then cut him immediately. He'll never play here. We'll eat the other $40 million. We'll get it off your books. You guys are free, and or 2 2s or whatever it is, and like we'll do the Brock Osweiler thing, and like we'll take your assets, we'll take your bad contract. Like I do wonder if there's a route here of like I just don't know who the veteran is that you could feasibly really live with, like being your starting quarterback next year and not totally botching it. But this roster needs so much help. I do wonder if like you don't love one of the guys, do you say like, hey man, I don't know. I still don't know I don't know the name. I can't think of the veteran. It's not Trevor Lawrence has a no trade. That doesn't make sense to me, especially if Liam Cohen isn't thrilled with him. Why? Like I would assume the Jets would want a guy that multiple regimes, Doug Peterson and Liam Cohen don't want. Like that feels like.
Would you imagine if Trevor Lawrence played in a real market?
That's not Jacksonville. Like I don't know, what does it cost to get Mac for a year, right? Like, or what's Brock? If Mac keeps playing really well, like are they moving Brock Purdy before the contract kicks in? Like those are the conversations I just feel like are at least somewhat interesting. Dak's not going to get moved, right? Realistically, as cool as that would be, I just don't know if Burrow. Like, is that really a realistic possibility? That
could be moved, Will.
Yeah.
Dak's a sleeper name in the next couple of years. Just throwing that out there. He's got a favorable kind of deal that, is going to be expiring.
Could be awesome. Like
it'd be interesting. I don't know how many years he has left, Dak. I mean, I know he's got a bunch, but he's gone through a lot of injuries. Is he good enough that you want to get an aging Dak Prescott who's been beat up? But I do love Dak. Don't get me wrong. I would take Dak here tomorrow.
Yeah. But what are you trading for? Like, let's just say realistically, you call Cincinnati. Burrow's a clean bill of health. Where's the line for you? Because I think their line is I think on the face of it, everyone assumes like, oh, I'll trade anything. But then you like ask people and everyone's got a different answer. I'd only trade this or I'd only do this. Burrow's like a sneaky 29. He's been hurt, missed 3 of the last 6 years of season-ending injuries, but he's a top 5 quarterback. That's won big games in the playoffs, in college, in the pros, puts up huge numbers. Like, what's the line for you where you say, like, I'm not going any further?
Jake, you want to go?
I mean, I'm willing to trade 3 first-round picks and then some easily. I mean, and to those Jet fans who don't want to do it, like Beningo today, no, I want my own guy. Like, You think the Jets are going to be able to get their own guy? You have confidence in Aaron Glenn to pick the right guy, and you basically make it easy for the entire organization going forward, knowing we have a top 5 quarterback in the sport in his prime. And yes, he's had issues staying on the field. So is Lamar Jackson. Do you think the Ravens regret paying him? Like, anyone could get hurt. It's football.
Here's the one that I thought about that. Again, no one said anything. This is not sourced in any way humanly possible.
Patrick Mahomes.
What's the appetite for CJ Stroud if things continue to be really wonky this year in Houston? Like, it feels like it's kind of been a slow progression downhill there with everybody. It feels like the defense has gotten better and the offense they're not protecting him. I know they invest a lot in receiver, but just curious, like, he's the one.
I wouldn't trade 3 ones for him, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, then it becomes like, but Houston's going to want 3 ones, right? Because like they're going to say, oh, he's 23, 24 years old. But then I'm like, is Stroud, I don't know. There's certain names you try to look at and you're like, find me the bridge guy. And there's only so many guys. And I don't know, man. Like, I don't want fucking JJ McCarthy anywhere near my team. I don't want 9 or JJ McCarthy, either one of them.
I'm getting a quarterback this year in the draft.
I'm good on McCarthy too.
Yeah.
But I'll say this.
What about 9? You good on 9?
Oh yeah, I'm fine with that. No, the thing with McCarthy, sorry, I'm talking about McCarthy. The thing with these quarterbacks is, listen, you have Joe Burrow out there, and I know the injury concern. I see people in the chat going crazy about 3 ones. Listen, the NFL is such a quarterback-heavy league. You need a quarterback. And when you have somebody that carried basically a team to the Super Bowl and he's still 29, you're taking a risk. You're rolling the dice. I don't think the Jets, if they were to want to knock on the door there, I don't think they have to do it right now. I think you look at where you're drafting, you look at what these quarterbacks look like, Mendoza, Simpson, and more. Then you make a decision. You make a call. But listen, 3 first-rounders for Joe Burrow, as crazy as people think it sounds,
you still have 2
not that crazy. Yeah, you still have 2. Listen, some people would do 3 for Stroud. I would never do that. I'm just
you
saying,
have an O-line in place too, Frankie.
Yeah, that's how important the quarterback is. Like, when you said Stroud, I'm like, you know what? F it. I'd give up 3. I just said it in my head. I'm like, oh, F it. I'd give up 3 for Stroud.
I don't know if he's good, though.
That's
my thing with Stroud. Like as someone who covered his rookie year when I was still in Houston and like just following the people I know down there who are locked into the Texans, he's been nowhere close to that level of player. And they blamed it all on the previous offensive coordinator who they fired in Bobby Slowick. Then they bring in Nick Caley, and it's been worse. I don't know. I don't know if CJ Stroud's as good as we thought he was going to be when he was playing like a top 5 guy as a rookie. Like that might be the best we see it.
Only reason I brought him up was too of just like guys that haven't gotten paid that are eventually going to be due to get paid. I will say I'm giving myself a pat on the back here. I'm not that this was a hot take in any way. When the Jets OC search was happening, I literally found a tweet today that was like, I hope Caley doesn't come here and they find a way to get Clint Kubiak. Dude, that guy is 100% getting a head coaching job next year. Clint Kubiak, Seahawks are, man. Sam had 175 yards and they're up 38-0. He threw 12 passes yesterday. They up 38-0 in the second quarter. Like, Rams.
Well, you look at these quarterbacks that are struggling this year. Geno Smith, new play caller. CJ Stroud, new play caller. Like, it sometimes takes a quarterback, a couple years to understand the play caller. If the play caller isn't good, you're really screwed. They look like rookies again. Geno Smith looks like a rookie or second year. CJ Stroud looks like a rookie, Jake and Will, because the play calling's terrible. We're in an advantageous position because I think the play caller we got's really damn good. So if you're going to tell me with that old line, and you brought in CJ Stroud, not for 3 ones, but I'm saying if you were to be able to do that, hypothetically, CJ Stroud would cook a little here. Trust me, he would. But these are like pipe dreams, I feel like, or unrealistic. Yeah. But no, Will, you're right. There's more player movement now than there's ever been.
If Luka Doncic could be traded, anyone could be traded. You never know.
What do you call what? I mean,
Michael Carter could be traded. Anybody could.
Yeah, I was gonna say, come on.
The great Michael Carter. Kava's question super chats. We are 40 minutes in. I haven't even shared what the giveaway is today. The giveaway, it's a Joe Namath jersey. It's a Joe Klecko jersey. It's a Curtis Martin jersey, Wayne Corbett jersey, Darrelle Revis jersey, or a Nick Mango jersey. You pick. That's right. Jets Legends jersey is the prize. If you don't win tomorrow morning, we give away a signed Darrelle Revis football, so make sure you enter for that. same way you would for the jerseys. A Joe Klecko signed helmet and a signed Wayne Krubat football. Big fella starts us off. He says, Frankie, what the hell did you mean if we're drafting outside the top 5? You wouldn't trade up for a QB, so we're supposed to suck next year too? Come on, Tanky. Even for you, bro, that is nuts.
I've been getting in these conversations with this big fella for a while. I am a long-term planner. I think in the long term. You think
one
in the
first,
short
though,
term,
Frankie. One
I
first.
think
that's all it takes. One of the 27 first.
Listen, if they no, I'm not touching those 27.
They
first.
believe Mendoza is can't miss. That's the guy. Glenn's like, I believe in him more than I believed in Justin Fields.
I don't even think Mendoza's family thinks he's can't miss, if you want my honest opinion. I am not I'm not doing listen, do not touch those you want to do the 26 first, big fella? The other one, go right ahead. Do not touch those 27 first. That draft is stacked, apparently.
So Jets trade up from, let's say, 6 to 1 in this scenario. They trade away their extra first, and obviously they're doing the swap. It's
going to cost more than that from 6 to 1, but let's say hypothetically, for Mendoza, I don't think so, Jake.
You pick. What about Simpson?
I'm not there yet.
Are you a Moore guy? Who's your guy right now?
I don't have a guy right now. I'm going through the process.
I like it. There's a good GM answer there.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to figure this whole thing out. I'm not really there yet. I gotta watch these guys the next 3 or 4 weeks, see how they look in the playoffs. I'm going through. I did a whole analysis today on like college yards per game by top quarterbacks, and Mendoza's yards per game and his like how his game log stacks is very low comparatively to some of the top guys in football. I want to see more volume out of his passing game. I think that offense they run there in Indiana is a bit conservative. They like to run the ball. I want to see him going down the field a little bit more. I don't want a quarterback, guys, that comes in here who hasn't been able to throw for 280 yards in their sleep consistently throughout their careers in college. You want a kid that is a high volume passer, not someone you're trying to figure out how to turn into one. Mendoza plays a little bit too much on the game manager side for me to feel comfortable trading all the way up to take him. You know what I mean? Very good quarterback. I like the kid. I'll take him at 6. I'm not blinking twice, but trading up to make that guy the future, and I don't know. I'm not there.
Depends on the cost, man, because that's the only way to get a quarterback. Like, waiting till 2027, I think, is completely irresponsible for a regime that's not, 1, guaranteed it, and 2, we do this every year, and I have examples of this. I'm going to keep adding to my list of receipts, but here's Dan Orlovsky the morning after last year's draft telling us how great the 2026 QB class is about to be. And of all the names here, the only one that might, if he comes out, be a clear first-round pick is Dante Moore. Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson aren't even listed here. So waiting until 2026 or 2027 is so risky for the Jets. They can't afford to do it. They have to get their quarterback this offseason. Have to.
You mean the guy that tweeted Ty Simpson and Fernando Mendoza can't miss this weekend, and then also tweeted that he hasn't watched the entire – he hasn't watched the 2026 class?
The Orlovsky flip-flop?
Yeah, that was special. That was no comment. No, look, man, I just – they're going to need – someone else is going to be playing quarterback for the Jets next year. Point blank, it is going to be probably an entirely brand new quarterback room. I think Mendoza's good. I'm not sure he's like, I don't know, man. Like Penn State stinks, and he had 100 yards and a pick before that final drive, and he was really good. He was nails on that final drive. That's what you want to see. And like, it can't always be like these guys aren't going to always go for 400 yards and 18 touchdowns. Like I don't want that, but you know, I'm going to need to see more if I'm going to say he's a can't miss guy that the Jets have to go trade up for. And Simpson's good, but there's still things in his game where it's like he's passing up easier options for these splash plays, which always concerns me because I'm not saying he's Zach Wilson. I'm probably could talk myself into more of Ty Simpson, former 5-star guy at Bama, high pressure, harder schedule, made some like splashier physical talent stuff, and seems to be a guy that the Bama kids love. And he's, played under Saban. He's obviously, there now, but I do wonder that's a huge big time throw. Like he was nails in this final drive, but it's like he wasn't very good the entire other 3.5 quarters against the Penn State team. That defense is talented, but
he reminds me of Kirk Cousins, doesn't he? And I was looking up yards per game. They had the same identical yards per game in college too.
I also just like the shtick. Like again, I'm being a hater here, but like there is a little bit of shtick stuff with him, and that worries me 5%. It's not a lot. And I think a lot
I
of
hear you.
quarterbacks are weirdos. Like it's a position that you have to be like everyone is like, it's a position like Rodgers is a prime example. That dude's going to walk into the Hall of Fame as a top 3 or 4 quarterback ever. And like, is as weird as it gets, right? Like it's fine. I just, the LinkedIn, YouTube, I don't do social media, but I'm always like kind of on. I'm always like, I don't know. It makes me a little nervous with New York. And it's like sometimes with these guys that like, I don't know. I saw the Phillip Rivers comp with him. Someone put it in the chat. I get it. Phillip Rivers, I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of football left. I'll say this for the 800th time. Until we know where the Jets are picking, it's really hard to have a conversation tangibly about who they should take. They might pick all. They might pick one. No, like it's just too much. It's too hard right now to know realistically any of these mock drafts and stuff. We don't know what these teams are picking, and until then, it's pretty difficult, frankly.
Fellas, we'll get you out of here with this. The game plan for Thursday. How do the Jets have a shot against the New England Patriots? On FanDuel right now, the New York Jets are a 10.5-point underdog going into this one. Will, I'll start with you. How do the New York Jets actually go out there and upset the Patriots on Thursday Night Football?
Monsoon.
How's the weather looking?
Dude, let's see. Well, we're gonna do this in live time.
It'll be cold, I'll tell you that.
We'll do this in live time for the folks. Thursday's forecast: 48, high 48, low of 35, 0% chance of rain. So scratch what I just said. None of that's obviously going to happen. You need a little bit what the Falcons did, which was figure out a way to move the football in some form or fashion, enough to keep them honest. They hit Drake May a ton. Jalen Walker forced fumble on Drake May. He's loose with the football in his hands. This is a Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson. Can he get a bunch of pass rush early? It's going to have to create some points on special teams. You're going to have to turn one over that turns into points. You're going to have to create short fields. Hope that the biggest thing, honestly, dude, is like the Patriots really hot, emotional high winning in Tampa. It's a huge game. They've been riding high. They have not had a letdown yet. It's a young team. And they got Buffalo upcoming. I believe they have somebody else next week and then Buffalo, if I'm not mistaken. They have like big games coming up. Do they walk into this one assuming they're going to cakewalk and the Jets come out with a good plan? They go for it, a couple fourth downs. I'd love Glenn to be extremely aggressive on Thursday night, like borderline to the point of where we're like, all right, dude, this is outrageous. Like fourth downs, fourth and less than 4, just go for it every time. Who cares? Like literally, who cares? Put Vrabel on his heels a little bit and have to make him adjust and test them a little bit. An onside kick, or squib kick, or just something to kind of like throw some wrinkles, a fake punt, do these different things where you're almost a 14-point underdog.
You want an update on that?
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
I just checked the updated line. It has already moved a full point. So money pouring in.
That's going to get to 12.5 or 13 by.
Honestly, you could tell me the line was 17, and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the Jets won a game where their quarterback had under 60 passing yards. It is not sustainable, and it's a short week, and they're going on the road. So if Aaron Glenn and company win this one, that would be stunning. I'm not even asking them to win. Just don't get blown out. Don't embarrass yourself. Don't have another London debacle where everyone's clowning you for your decision-making, not having a clue. Like, and that was a game they should have won. Like, I don't even think it will be that close, but I just worry that all this like improvement we're talking about, we see reality on Thursday when they play a real team. And I just hope that we don't have to have those discussions. And I hope the discussion remains. We're seeing real improvement here because it all goes away if they get destroyed like many think on Thursday.
Yeah, I'd like to see, like, even if it's the form of the Broncos game where Fields is obviously the issue, the defense plays really hard, the special teams is able to make some plays. It's just like, hey, we don't have enough talent on offense, and like, again, a well-coached team, a team, again, that's also 7-2, 8-2, no business being in this football game. And they just do enough to like, and I don't want the disaster at the end of the half. That would be ideal. But the point of just like the kind of, hey, we're not a good team because we're not talented enough, but it's not because we're not well coached. It's not because we're not prepared. It's not because guys aren't fired up. Like, Vrabel will run it up. If it's 24-0, he will make sure that it gets run up because that's who Vrabel is. And I don't want the Glenn quit Saleh era stuff. Like I want to see some energy there. That would be nice.
Frankie, how do we stay close and maybe win?
All right, guys. We need not 1, not 2, but 3 special teams touchdowns on Thursday night. 3 will guarantee that this game is within a touchdown. No, in all honesty, you know what they need to do? Steve Wilks needs to completely flip whatever that defense has been doing upside down. So if you've been running a lot of man, come in with a zone scheme that they've never seen before. They need to confuse Drake May. That's it. That's how the Jets can be a little bit competitive. Come in, run some crazy exotic zones that they've never seen us run before. Wilks is obsessed with man coverage for whatever reason all year. We can't guard crossers. They love their crossers, by the way. They love to run crossing routes, New England, and just stay in the pocket. Their O-line's pretty good, by the way. I know that they had that game against Myles Garrett. He had 5 sacks, but they do a good job of protecting Drake back there. He likes to hold on to the ball long, too. Run exotic zones, confuse Drake May, hope that Jermaine and McDonald can get home. That's how you're going to beat them. That's it. Do not run what you've been running the whole year, Steve Wilks. Please. That'll be a big mistake. They're going to light you up. I'm telling you, Josh McDaniels against zones and Steve Wilks against man, Steve Wilks has been running this old school man for years. Do not do it against Josh McDaniels and Drake May. That's it. I'd offensively hope that Breece Hall can get moving. That's about it. This is going to be another ugly offensive game, I assume. New England's defense isn't as good as Cleveland's, obviously. So
really good against the run, and you have to throw to beat them. And then, fortunately, hasn't completed a forward pass since 2014. So that's going to be an issue.
Yeah. The short week I think might help us, maybe, but I don't. To be honest, I don't think it's going to be a pretty.
There is a nightmare scenario. There is one nightmare scenario before we leave. The nightmare scenario is Drake May concussion protocol in the first drive, and in comes Tommy DeVito, and the Jets lose to Tommy DeVito on Thursday Night Football, and I have to hear Tommy Lugbauer and a bunch of WFN guys say how bad Glenn is. Like, that's a mea culpa. I can't have it happen. I can't watch that.
I mean, if the Jets lose to Tommy DeVito on Thursday Night Football, like Woody Johnson's got to reevaluate everything with this coaching staff. I mean, come on. Come on. I hope not. That is interesting, though, because remember, Drake May did go down and get hurt last year, and Brissett came in.
He was Jackson Dart last year, the exact same situation. Awful coach running his rookie quarterback into the ground, trying to beat this guy. Does it happen against the Jets? I think it happened against the Chargers. He went out of another game. He think 3 or 4 times last year was in concussion protocol, right? Drake May, he had multiple concussions,
a few times. Yeah,
I was pretty scared for him, honestly, at the end of last year. I'm like, dude, year 1, he's already multiple concussions, other protocol times.
Well, they're trying now, Will and Jake, in the NFL. They're trying now to not have these quarterbacks run as much because they don't want them to put themselves in a position to get hit and get into the protocol specifically, because the NFL now, they're very strict on this kind of stuff. Like you saw with Jackson Dart yesterday when they found out that he had 2 more plays after he had hit his head on the ground. I mean, they're going to make a stink about that. So a lot of teams now, they don't want their quarterbacks running a ton of read option, etc. So yeah, we'll see.
It'd be nice to get an interception. It'd be nice to get one. Brownlee got hit in the teeth yesterday about one. I was like, dude,
right there.
He had a ball
today. He's not meant to play that outside corner position. By the way,
he's a nickel.
I told you guys, Jamie Sherwood was the highest ranking guy on PFF. Him and Quincy were eating yesterday, man.
Killed Azaria, but other than that,
oh, dude, that was terrible. I'm like, come on, man, you can't do that.
I was like one of the few guys that was excited to watch.
Hardest hit of the year.
That was tough.
We'll see Azaria in 2 months now.
Gentlemen, great show. Appreciate both of you for joining. The Jets have not lost since we started this, so perhaps we keep it rolling into Thursday. 2 wins in the same week for the Jets. Has not happened since last year, which was also the last time they went back-to-back games. Week 2, they beat the Titans on a Sunday, beat the Pats on a Thursday in the home opener, and it was all downhill after. So maybe they beat the Pats in Foxborough for only the second time since the playoff win in 2010. The last time they won was Belichick's final game, and this will be the next opportunity to try and do it after they lost last year on the Keyshawn Boutte beating Sauce Gardner in coverage game at the end. Remember that one? Brutal.
How many do you guys remember? If I'm not mistaken, Breece Hall in that last game versus the Patriots, that last game of the season, I believe he had 37 rushing attempts, if I'm not mistaken, if anyone wants to look that up. But Breece had a really good game. Last time Breece played there, Breece was running wild. I believe he did.
37 attempts for 178 yards, another 2 receptions.
There we go. That's wild, right?
Ala thought he got him 1,000 yards and messed up the calculation. So
yes. That was
even funnier about the oh my god, never mind. It's all good.
Wait, you want to laugh? Here's the box score of the quarterbacks in that game. So the Jets won.
Trevor Siemian, I think, won back-to-back games at the end of that year, right?
They won 17-3. Siemian was it back-to-back? He was 2-1 as the Jet starter, but this was the box score for his numbers here. Siemian was 8 of 20 for 70 yards, and they won. He was better than Fields in that win, but Fields won as well yesterday. With
Fields will fit right in there.
That looks like a Rodgers versus Fields box score.
Unreal. Maybe they win. Maybe they don't. Just don't get embarrassed. Appreciate both of you hopping on.
Appreciate you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, hit it. We're going to get to more of your calls, but I'd be remiss if we didn't shout out the Jetstream, who's the first to gift a membership to the community during the show. He's in our raffle for a Jets jersey of your choosing. For 5, it's Nick Mangle, Darrell Revis, Wayne Corbett, Curtis Martin, Joe Klecko, and Broadway Joe. Jetstream, appreciate you. You're in there for 5. We'll put you down. Hit the Jet chant for him on Victory Monday. Hamburger with a super chat. I don't doubt we draft a QB in the first round. I have doubt we ever draft and develop a true franchise quarterback. It's the Jet way. Hey, until they do it, I get that thought process. That's why if Burrow ever was available, the idea that you wouldn't be interested, Jet fans, come on. We all want our own guy. I don't think this franchise is capable of getting our own guy. So we can get someone else's guy that's 29 and has been to a Super Bowl. And if we had to trade 3 ones, we still would have a first-round pick this year and a first-round pick the following year, and we still would have our offensive line in place and Garrett and Breece, bring him back with all the cap you have. I can make a compelling case for it, but here's what would need to happen. Burrow would need to ask out, and the Bengals would have to be willing to trade him. Neither of which I think is happening. So they're going to have to draft their guy, and hopefully they get it right. Dan with the super chat. I love Garrett, but you have to think they got similar offers for him compared to Sauce. He's battling an injury this year, too. Okay, so they got 2 ones for Garrett Wilson, Dan. Then what? Do you think they're going to find a receiver who's as good as Garrett Wilson? Do you know the Jets' history of drafting receivers? Like, he's a legitimate number 1, and until this year, Garrett Wilson has never missed a game in his career. It's football, man. Guys get hurt. It happens. It's unfortunate. Garrett got hurt because his quarterback threw him a hospital ball, too. That's the real shame. Frankie says Glenn needs to admit his mistakes and sit Fields. If he starts Fields and he looks awful on Thursday, the leash better be so short. Mr. Forte, off subject, how good's our rookie punter? You can make a case McNamara might be their best player. He's been great this year. Give Glenn and Muji credit for finding that guy. And honestly, the Jets have a good special teams unit. They do. I know it cost them games at the beginning of the year, but that was more personnel than coaching. Like Chris Banjo can't say, hey, Xavier Gibson, don't fumble, and have an impact on Gibson not fumbling, right? That cost them a win. You know, Isaiah Williams fair catching a ball at the 2-yard line. We got to blame the players for some of this stuff, but the kicking game's been great all year, right? Nick Folk, amazing. McNamara, amazing. They've covered kicks and punts really well. They won them a game yesterday, literally. I think Chris Banjo's been the most impressive coach on the Jets staff. Here's another reason for optimism for the game on Thursday, besides the fact the Jets are undefeated when Glenn doesn't announce a starter. No team in the NFL is better Wednesday through Friday than the Jets. Now, typically that's practice we're referring to. But I'm hoping that because this game is on a Thursday, the Jet dynasty Wednesday through Friday does carry over, if you know what I mean. So there's that as well. All right, open phone lines for those of you who wanted on the conversation. DT had a good comment I bookmarked earlier. He wrote, when you're a bad team, you can't complain when they beat other bad teams, but the Bengals or Browns are awful. They say the exact same thing about us. Exactly. You got to play who's on your schedule. And obviously, when it comes to what you're looking to see, you're supposed to win these games. We didn't think the Jets were the worst team in the NFL this year. We went into the season saying they're not a playoff team, but can they be competitive? Can they win some games? Can they be scrappy? And my challenge to the Jets now down the stretch is among their games left on the schedule. Can you win a game or two you're not supposed to win and really have a statement win that this thing is being headed in the right direction, right? Miami yesterday beat the Bills. It can be done, right? You're playing New England. No one's going to pick you. You're playing Baltimore. No one's going to pick you. Can you win a game you're not supposed to? Maybe it's that second New England game in late December. By then, many might be mad with a loss. I don't know. But, like, my challenge to the Jets is, like, win a game that we go, wow, didn't see this coming. That's an impressive win. I don't know if they can do it, but that should be the goal. That should be the thing they're striving to do. To your calls we go. Open phone lines for those who want in. Chuck, start us off the Chuck wagon.
Hey, Jake. One thing that I didn't tell you after the game on Sunday is the last two games, I bet the under in both games because, the Jets offense. So not only did they go over, but they won. So the biggest reason why the Jets are going to win on Thursday is because I have bet the under in this game. So, yeah. Jets really have a good chance of winning. All seriousness, it would be nice to see them at least cover. I would like to see by Thursday what the ending spread would be before kickoff, because I wouldn't be surprised, like you said, if it went up to like 15, 16, 17 and a half. But I rewatched the game, especially in that second half. Defense did very well. And I know we ragged on him in the first 5-6 games, but Clemens has been playing a lot better. He's been getting a lot more pressures on the quarterback. He actually caused in the third quarter the tripping call on their right guard, which actually I didn't realize a tripping is a personal foul, which is 15 yards, not 10 yards like a holding penalty. So kudos to him for actually improving the last, 3 games. As long as he's consistent, I think he'll be fine with our edge. Playing as well as they have been. I'm really hoping for a low-scoring game, not because I want to win my bet, but because that's the only way the Jets have a chance of winning. 17-14, 10-13, 10-9, something crazy like that. It's got to be a low-scoring game for the Jets to have a shot.
Well, that's their path, right? I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be a shootout, but I don't know. It's been a weird NFL season. I'd imagine if they're going to win, it's going to be a game where the Jets get a boost from their special teams. I don't think it's going to be quite like what we saw in the game yesterday, right? I think it's probably a similar script to the London game, right? You're playing a team that's better than you, but you ugly it up. Defense did force a turnover that day, right? Brownlee had the fumble recovery. Maybe this is the game they finally get an interception. Like, they're not going to go 17 games without a pick, right? Like, can this be the game they get that interception? Because that could be the difference. It's tough to picture the Jets winning this game. New England's got the quarterback advantage. They got the head coaching advantage. They're at home. But hey, Aaron Glenn wants to try and win over some people in year one. This is a game that you do that. I'm not even asking them to win. Just don't be embarrassed. Be in the game. Give us the fake hope that they might actually steal this one. I don't know how they could do that necessarily, but I'd love to see it. Michael has super chatted. Why do I get a feeling the Giants somehow end up with Tomlin next season? Well, we have Glenn. I don't know how they're going to get Tomlin because I don't know if the Steelers are just going to fire him. Right? I mean, you'd have to trade for him. Are the Giants going to trade away picks for him? I don't think so. I don't think Mike Tomlin's coming over to the Giants to work with Joe Schoen. And I think the Giants made a huge mistake keeping Schoen. They should have fired him with Dable. They came in together. They should go together. Schoen has not done enough to warrant sticking around to pick another coach. Dable was the one who got Dart. That was his guy. So you can't even give Schoen credit for that. Go look at Joe Schoen's drafts, man. 2022 and 2023 in particular. Yikes. And it's not just Evan Neal, who's unplayable, who they used the top 6 pick on. They have no depth on their team. I mean, there's a litany of things I think you could criticize Schoen for. And Dable certainly, he just lost and lost and lost. You had to make a change there. But the Giants jetted this by keeping Schoen. And the Giants have done this. They don't learn from their previous mistakes either. Right? Every time they fired a coach since Coughlin, the GM has stayed. When are they going to learn? They fire Coughlin, Jerry Reese sticks around. They fire McAdoo. And then I'm trying to remember the order here because they had Gettleman. Did Gettleman stick around for McAdoo? And then he got to hire Judge? No, he got to hire Shermer. And then Shermer was fired. Gettleman got to hire Judge. Like, they've done this a lot, man. So I'm trying to think of the order in my head. Let me do it. Coughlin fired after 2015. Jerry Reese was retained. Then Reese and Ben McAdoo got fired in 2017. And then Gettleman and Judge were fired after 2021. But before that, Shermer was fired after 2019, and Gettleman got to stay for another 2 years, which was dumb. And now they're firing Dable and retaining Schoen. So this is the third time that John Mara has done this, where he's fired the head coach and not the GM being fired. It's dumb. The Jets did this with Tannenbaum and Rex. It was dumb. Then you had Izek and Rex, who never got along, not on the same timeline. Then the Jets, even by Jet standards, this was an all-timer. You fire McCagnon after he makes all the draft picks and spends the free agent money in 2019 to bring in Joe Douglas in June. To coach McCagnon and Adam Gase's team to 7-9 that year. Then the 2020 season, 2-14. And then finally, took a little bit. Douglas got to pick his like, if you're the Giants, that job's super attractive. Bring in a new GM with a coach. But this is not a Giant show. I'll save my full commentary when I'm on the radio this week. I'm in for Michael K on Friday, by the way, people. So 1 to 3 Friday, tune in. Day after the Jet game on Thursday. Uh-oh. More calls right now. The Hamburger's next. What's up, Burger?
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, Burger? How we feeling? Isn't it funny how since you made a bet the Jets wouldn't win a game, they've won 2 in a row?
Yeah. Well, listen, you're looking at, hold on, let me put this down. You're looking at two really bad teams we just played. We're a really bad team. We squeaked out 2 wins. I mean, listen, man, that was an ugly game yesterday. I don't care. Like, if we didn't run those balls back, we were getting pelted. We were going to lose 17 to 3. It would have been bad, man. But it is what it is. We got to win. A win is a win. Thank God I had the F1 race on the other TV, and I could watch that and at least be a little happy with that too. So it was a great race this weekend. So I had a winning weekend for change. But I think coming into Thursday night, man, just the way it's going to happen. I wanted Vrabel so bad. I know you felt the same way. And now I have that feeling he's going to be like the thorn in our side, like Belichick. Man, he's turned that team around so fast, and they look so good. Yeah, maybe some people might say they're overrated, but, man, he's a good coach. He's a good coach, and he's getting a lot out of his players. Yeah, they might not be that talented, but he's getting a lot out of his players. So
helps when you have a quarterback.
Yeah, they have a quarterback, too. He's pretty good. But, we're going to go in there. I think we're going to get whacked, man. We're going to get smacked around. I don't think we're going to be able to move the ball unless we get a couple fun backs again. I have a feeling they're going to throw on us a lot.
Turnovers. That's it. Right? Short fields. Like the Jets can't line up and win a conventional game. Like, they need the Patriots to play like their C-level game. The Jets need to play their A game. And they're gonna have to get some like football luck. Like, if there's a fumble, they got to fall on it. Like, if there's a batted pass in the air, they got to intercept it. Like, they're gonna have to ugly up the game to have a chance to win.
Yeah, I agree. They have to get turnovers, and they have to be able to get really good field position. And the defense has got to be the defense we've seen the last 2 weeks, and not just a defense that's playing really, really, really bad offensive teams. Like, they need to step up this week. Like, McDonald needs to keep going. He needs to be able to show up. Like, they need to be able to stop the run, and they need to be able to stop the pass, man, because that guy throws the ball down the field. Like, and we're not very good at covering down the field right now. I'm sorry. And we haven't played very many good offenses lately. But I don't know. I don't feel great about the game, but it's going to be entertaining. At least there's something to watch on Thursday night. But hopefully we don't get embarrassed, dude. It's not going to be good. I think it's going to be a bad look for Glenn in that respect. I think if he goes in there and he really gets hammered, coming off of 2 wins off of bad teams, which everybody knows, there's no sugarcoating it. It's not a secret. Like, and you go and play an actual legit team, and they smoke us, 40 or 50-3. There's going to be a lot of chatter, and it's really not going to look good for Glenn. And I don't know if he continues to lose in that aspect, if we do lose in that aspect, if he stays next year. I don't know. It's hard, but then again, we are the Jets. It is what it is. We never know what's coming. And it's pretty funny, the similarities between the Jets and the Giants right now. I mean, I don't know, man. We're 2 bad franchises right now, and hopefully something happens where we turn it around. Otherwise, it's going to be bad for the next few years. And the Giants, listen, they got to do the right thing too. And if they don't make the right decisions, it's just going to be the Jets suck, the Giants suck, the Jets suck, the Giants suck.
They might have a quarterback though. Like Dart is, I think Will made a great comp. Dart's a lot like what Drake May was in last year, right? Like just a bad situation.
I would agree with
see
that.
The talent there. Like needs a real coach to build the rest of the team around him. So we'll see. The Jets need a quarterback, Berger. That's where this all starts.
At the same time, dude, if they get a bad coach, and you have a guy that falters and falls apart. He's only 1 year into his season. Next year comes, it's a different scheme, it's a different everything else. And if the coach isn't that good, the offensive coordinator's terrible, Jackson Dart's going to look like, mediocre quarterback, and it looks like they didn't find the guy at this point. So, anything can happen. It's a screwed up game, and we're just always on the bad end of it. And like I said in the chat, I think, and I love Joe Namath. I'd never seen him play other than on reruns, but we have the receipts, man. That curse is real. I don't care what you say. We can get close to the promised land, but I don't think anything will ever happen until the great Joe, passes on and that's lifted. And a lot of you fans out there probably feel the same way I do. It's been a long time, but we've been living with that curse. And it's, I think it's true. I think it has to be. It can't not be. It has to have some teeth. There has to be something there, Jake.
Mr. Berger, I just want to see the Jets find success.
Yes.
That's it.
I want a winning season, dude. A winning season. I want a plus. We won more than we lost. That's all I ask for right now.
I know.
That's all I'm asking for. That's
They haven't had a winning season in a decade. They haven't won more than 7 games in a decade.
Yeah, dude.
It's insane.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I think Bobby's 13, so he's really never seen much of anything. He was just a peanut in my arms at the time that they were still kind of relevant.
I don't think there's a curse though. I just think the Jets have been horrifically run. Like I don't believe in this Namath curse nonsense.
I don't know, dude. It's hard not to believe it a little bit. There has to be something in the back of your mind that says a little bit. Maybe there's something to it.
The only time I thought about a curse was when Rodgers got hurt and I was there.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Because I couldn't believe what was happening.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think the Jets have just been a disaster with their decision making above everything else. Like this team has been to the Super Bowl, been close to the Super Bowl in the AFC Championship. Like I've seen it. I lived it. Like I was alive for 3 trips to the AFC Championship game. I remember 2 of them. Like I remember it. It happened.
We
were that close.
It with Testaverde. We were there, and then the next year we were going. The next year was going. First play of the freaking season, Achilles. He pops his Achilles. That's what I'm telling you, dude. There's that little bit in there that just doesn't let us make that hop over. So I don't know. I have to believe that it's got to be something else, man. There's got to be something else other than just bad decisions because it's been so long, dude. So bad.
One day. So, no way. I got a guy in the line that could maybe put a spell on the New York Jets and manifest a W. You ready?
I'm all ears.
Abracadabra.
Beast, how do we get out of this rut?
Take my advice, like I said this morning. We play these Patriots on Thursday night. 30 minutes. The first half, 30 minutes. Get them down, strike first, but don't do it fully, not rapidly. Just go for the knockout blow. Not right away. Just go for it all. Make them suffer and suffer and suffer some more. Take him to the school of hard knocks.
So Beast. If we go Beast, if we do double the amount of yards we had in this week's offense in the first quarter and the second quarter, how do you think we're going to do good on that? We have to at least double our offense.
All you got to do is play smart. That means do what you did in Cincinnati. Do what you did against Cleveland.
I'd like to be able to put up like 70 yards in the first quarter. That would be phenomenal.
Maybe 125. Yes, 70's okay. 125 is a little bit more than
Dude, I'll take more than -4 in the second quarter. That's
and
some
Justin
of the worst
Fields
offensive I've ever seen in my life.
Well, here's
although
the thing,
the Browns first 3 plays were
I'm hearing a
terrible.
lot of crap about them lately, and there's something that I don't like with them. Their numbers are looking good, but we gotta do one thing: knock them on their ass. Time to make them suffer and suffer and suffer and suffer enough. And then when they've suffered enough,
everybody hear me now for this one. If we get smoked tomorrow on Thursday night, if we get embarrassed, enjoy like another 10 years of the old school Patriots against the Jets, that we're going to be tortured forever as they come to town and whoop us over and over.
No, Hamburgers, Victory Monday.
Don't even go there. Don't even go there with me, Hamburger. Don't even think about it, because the next thing you'll be seeing is going to be what I told you this morning. 30 minutes. This is what you do first. You get them on the ground. You got kick them around a couple of times, then knock them down some more, and then once they've suffered enough, then start giving them the pain. Take them to school. It's called we don't have to. We have to. It's not over. We're gonna beat their ass this time, and then we're gonna do it this time smarter, faster, and we're gonna have more agility in our legs. And Justin Fields better hear this loud and clear. Don't stand there like a tree full of shit. Move your effing legs and do your part like everybody else, and learn to listen. And don't give me the bullshit of, I didn't know what to do. Well, you better know what to do come Thursday night. Because come Thursday night, they got a bullseye right on your goddamn head. So if I were you, Fields, you better listen loud and clear. You better have that ball out of your hand within 3 seconds. 3. 1, 2, 3. Not 6, not 7. 3. That's the key. 3 seconds. Get rid of it in the nick of time and get it done, and do it the right way. Is that clear? Now, let's start moving our chicken asses and start learning to at least dominate and devastate. And when you finish the job, do it right the first time. Don't fuck up.
Now, Beast, let me ask you something. The Jets on Thursday, who should be the quarterback, Fields or Tyrod?
That's a tough decision to make, because right now I don't like Justin Fields as far as I can throw him. I mean, sure he's lacking it. He's not quarterback material. I think he's.
What stood out about his performance yesterday? What did you see out there?
There's a couple things that get under my skin. He threw one pick six, which I was like, "You idiot! You idiot!"
He threw a pick six.
I didn't like that. That was a dumb move on his hand. He should not have done that in the first place. He should have. Next time he needs to hear these words loud and clear. Don't do that shit ever again. At least don't ever try and do something stupid. Be positive instead of being negative. When you see
JD says you didn't watch the game again.
When you see a situation like that and you know the guys are not open.
Peter Castro says you didn't watch.
Oh, kiss my I don't give a flying F about the chat anymore. You know what? I personally don't care. Because I did watch the whole goddamn thing. I had it right on my internet. I have it through First World Sports, and I was also watching it through the TV app.
You had it on the internet.
Right. That's right. It's called Everything Comes a Price.
Big fella writes in another beastism. Don't just stand there like a tree full of shit. I'm telling you, Jake, a shirt with all beastisms would sell. If someone designs that, I'd be happy to throw that up in the merch store, big fella, but I don't know how to design anything.
Hey, I'm just trying to make points here that it's called we need to get this team off their dead ass instead
Now,
of sitting
Beast,
there like a bunch of old 100
everyone wants your thoughts. So the Jets yesterday, special teams obviously was great. What was the better play though? I want your thoughts on this. Were you more impressed? I didn't get to ask you what the play was yet.
I was very impressed with the first one, and number 34 surprised me.
Let me ask you, Leon Washington's kickoff return or Brad Smith's punt return? Which one was better yesterday?
Ooh, that's a tough decision to make. I'll tell you what. If I go with Brad Smith, I'll see if I can get you something in a little bit of a return. And I still got your Christmas present still here. I gotta wrap it and send it to you.
Hey, what does a Christmas present have to do with Leon Washington's kickoff return and Brad Smith's punt?
You're gonna get your wish very, very shortly. And,
hey, we'll talk about that in a second. I want to get your thoughts. Brad Smith, Leon Washington. Which special teams play yesterday was better?
I think Leon Washington was very, very, very delicate. Very, very delicate. But I did like the way number 34 ran. He did something that just blew my mind. And I'm sitting there going, that son of a bitch ran right through Cleveland like a buzzsaw going through wood. That was beautiful. I want to see more of that. Special teams, A+. Defense, A+. Offense, C.
You can't win.
Bullshit.
Jets got to win on Thursday, Beast. Great breakdown. Me personally, I'm a Leon Washington guy, so I lean with him. All right, load up your calls. Right now, there's only one man that is currently on hold, and he will wait no longer. Dre is next. What's up, Dre?
What's up, my brother? So sorry I couldn't stay on hold for the first show. I listened to you guys the whole ride home. I left work and was listening to everything. And it's this damn team. They pulled me back in. I was disappointed in all the results, and I was like, okay, this is done. We can't seem to. I'm not going to put in the same energy I did last time. And then they pulled me back in with the 2 consecutive wins, and now I'm kind of hyped. I'm like, hey, let's go. We do not have a quarterback. This reminds me of the Zach Wilson days, and I know how to operate at least with that. We just feed the beast, feed Brees, and we should be okay.
I'm repping the Brees jersey. They better extend them.
I see that. That's awesome. By the way, I want to give you a heads up. I never had a Revis jersey.
Ooh, is that what you're choosing?
Yeah.
I love that. Hey, do me a favor.
Definitely.
Email me your full name, address, the size you want it in, and I'll order it for you this week. Congrats on winning the raffle this morning, my man.
All right, brother. I'll definitely do that. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to contribute to the show and, show love to the show. I miss my Asmaniacs. Work has been crazy. I've been working like crazy. And today was like the first day that I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pop on the show. I got the alert and I was like, let me pop on the show. Let me see what's going on. And I'm working, getting things done. And then I'm like, keep popping in. But like, hold on. Let me see if I can stay on long. And it was like close to my lunchtime. But then I was like, nope, I got to go because I had to get back to work. But I miss y'all. I hope everybody's doing well. I might try and come down if there's going to be a watch party later on in the season, something like that. I know I'm due for a city visit before Christmas. I'll be back down. But we just got our first snow here. It's snowing down now in upstate New York. It's like, ugh. But it's winter time. We're going to be all right. I feel like Tyrod without Garrett, I think could still do something. I just don't know what we have on the wide receiver side. I'm seeing a lot of the hype from that wide receiver from the Colts, and there seems to be a lot of buzz about him and what he's been done. But I mean,
he's gonna get our chance though. I don't know if you saw the news earlier. We talked about it. Garrett Wilson out 3 to 4 weeks. So yeah, I mean, look, Mitchell, Mechie, Arian Smith. Can anyone show something over these final 8 games now? Because Garrett's probably, there's a chance we might not see him at all the rest of the way. Like if the Jets lose the next 4 weeks, why are we bringing Garrett Wilson back at the end of the year?
For what? Like, I mean, this has got to be one of the first games where he had, he had 4 targets and 0 catches for 0 yards.
First game.
I don't think he's ever put up a stat line like that, even as a rookie.
First game in his career, Dre, he's never had a catch.
Yeah, see, that doesn't sit well with me. I don't like, taking the capital and drafting Brees, drafting Garrett, and being like, okay, I got my 1-2 punch, and then I got to bench Garrett because I can't trust this offense. It's shades of Zach Wilson. I definitely don't want to do this again. But we'll see where we're at. I mean, I see all the Asmaniacs up to their usual shenanigans.
Hey, you got to update your fantasy lineup, apparently.
Oh, my fantasy lineup is horrible. I just got back to 500, so I'm trying to get that going forward. But yeah, I gotta stop being such a homer.
Trey, good to hear from you, my man. Call him more. We miss your presence. 28 touchdown island will live on.
Yeah, no, it definitely will. And hopefully we can get a quarterback that can get him there one day.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man who famously said, Brock Purdy's going to die. The great Dre Correa checking in. Where's the OG He's Going to Die video? Let's see if I can find it. Longtime viewers of the show, remember this.
He's going to die.
Hey, Dre, what do you think about Brock Purdy?
He's going to die.
What a moment in time. What a moment. What else do we have here? I'm just going through old clips. You guys tell me, was this a fart by Rob? Rob, the Jet fans next. Hello, Rob.
Hey, Jake. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Rob. How are you? Here's another look. Rob, the Jet fans next. Hello, Rob. Still a big debate to this day. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Comments, questions, super chats, they will cut the line. Right now, there's only one man on hold. And to those who don't like this man, here's what I'm going to say. Well, call in. Otherwise, you're shit out of luck.
You know what time it is? A beach breaker, 666. I'm gonna take my fist and shove it up your ass, and then he gotta go.
Doing some homework right now. Homework reviews. That's called got to stay ahead of the game. Play your cards right. Don't cheat the dealer or you'll get. It's the most wonderful time of the year. And Thursday night, expect the unexpected. Expect no mercy. Expect suffering. Accept pain. And accept the excruciating screaming from the bitchiots. And you know who I mean by the bitchiots? The clown boy patsies. You know who I'm referring to by the patsies. We're gonna kick their ass.
You know what time it is?
Yeah.
Come on, everybody. Let's do some heroics. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move that body up that floor. Right, left. Let's go. Come on. Pick that up. Let's get some arms going. Get some stretches going. Come on. 9, 10. Come on, baby. Yeah, you can move your body. Come on, everybody. Get up and do some exercise. Let's go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I feel great. Come on, let's get some of that up there. What are you laughing at, B-Man? Pick those arms up, kid. Come on, what are you, whipper, man? I'll give you that first, son.
Oh, shit, that wasn't B-Max. That was Kevin.
Let's get funky like a monkey. Come on, girls, you guys can do this. 6.
Really?
Let's see if you guys can do it. Come on, pick it up. This also helps shake the muscles.
I'm feeling the burn. Let's go. Come on.
Okay, now the other side. Come on. Man, I feel good.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
I'm eating.
Beast, you can't out-exercise a bad diet, bro. You have to look good. You gotta be lean. You gotta be mean.
You gotta have some weights in there.
You wanna be scary, don't you?
No, right?
It's doing the air.
Have this. Have this. Ah. Next caller, let's go. Let's get Bobby Midnight in here. Let's bring him in here. Hey, yo, let's move and groove. Let's move and groove, shall we? Move your ass. Let's go. One.
Get your moving! Get your ass up! Get
You can kiss my big, big ass. Woo!
Salient points, as always, by the Beast. Super chat, Mike in the raffle for 2. This is the last show to enter the raffle tomorrow, by the way. Let me say that again. So if you want a chance to win the signed Wayne Corbett football, Joe Klecko signed helmet, or the Darrell Revis signed football, now's your chance. I actually could show this off. I added this to my my personal collection of memorabilia. I got this today in the mail, so I'll show you guys. I ordered the case. It's not here yet. I wanted something for myself. So I have here a signed Darrell Revis helmet with Revis Island in the signature here. So it will be going in a display case, but I just got it today. So wanted to show it off. Oh, all right. Last chance to get in on the show. The first show was so long today, so I think that's affected the lack of calls on the second show because we went for nearly 4 hours on the first one today. But we got our guy Jordan who's on the line. He's next. What's up, Jordan?
What's up, Jake? Outside freezing my ass off right now.
Where are you?
I'm at work.
Where are you working?
The same place I've been working for the past 3 years.
Well, it looks cold, so I hope you stay warm.
Yeah,
Jordan.
it is. Yeah, because it's inside and outside, but it's 20 degrees right now, and I'm outside today right now. But anyway, my Jets, a couple of Jets things that I wanted to talk about was we were talking last time, and you were talking about name one thing that Aaron Glenn has done good. I think that the coaching staff is doing a little bit of improvement by coming out and winning off of the bye week and showing some fight and seeing some life with running
Definitely.
the ball. And
Look, a win
think
after the
that-
bye is definitely a big deal. Yep.
Yeah, facts. I agree with that. And I think that they're trying to do everything they can to coach around Justin because they do not trust him to throw the ball because he can't throw the ball. And I feel like that's why his attempts and everything is just so short because they just don't trust him and they know what we know and he's just not the guy.
Then they should bench him.
I also think that
answer.
I agree. I agree. I also think that Membu and Olu aren't getting enough credit for the season and how good they are for being so young and how dominant Membu's been against Myles Garrett, who had 5 sacks 2 weeks ago against the Patriots. And he shut another high-end edge rusher out pretty much. And I think they deserve more credit. And Will McDonald, I also feel is like an ascending player on this team. And I feel like if they draft another solid all-around edge rusher who's a little bit bigger and more better against the run, I feel like putting Will McDonald in that Bryce Huff role from a few years ago where he could come in and just pass rush would be a perfect fit for him.
Well, Will McDonald, to me, he does something that is an elite trait to win. Like, I want him here, Jordan. They got to show more though. Like, yes, it's an improvement to win after the bye. I want to go back to your first point on Glenn, but look who they beat. Right, the last 2 wins have been against bottom feeders. Let's see what they look like now when the schedule gets tougher. These next 2, can you show us that it's not fool's gold by looking competitive against New England on Thursday and then giving the Ravens a game? Like, they shouldn't be embarrassed if they're going to be in a position where we want to believe they're turning it around, even if like the wins aren't necessarily there.
I agree, but you can only play who you can play on the schedule, and
Agreed.
the Jets
Agreed. They get credit
should
for
get
winning.
credit. Yeah, they should get credit for winning because it's the Jets, and usually they don't win those type of games, especially shootout games against the Bengals. They don't win like that.
Anyone can score
So
points against the Bengals, though.
yeah, that is true. We could go out there and score points. Nah, but I just think that it's hard to say now, but you're just starting to see little improvements here and there through this team, and you're starting to see guys fight for what they love and playing the game of football, and hopefully
They
we
get
start to
killed
see
on
a culture
Thursday. What are you
being.
saying?
Oh, I'm gonna be pissed as fuck. I'm gonna be
Well,
mad
I
as
mean,
hell, but
that's my
it
point,
depends
though.
on how they lose, though. Like if they could go out and be a competitive loss, then I won't be as mad. But if they go out and get blown out like 30-3 or 30-6 or whatever, and it's been the same shit for the first 7 weeks before all this, then then it's time to have those conversations again about the coaching staff. But if they could keep building off of some of this stuff and keep making tweaks and putting guys in the right position to be successful and keep looking in the mirror to get better, then that's what I think what we're hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately, Jordan, that's what we want to see, but we haven't seen it until these last two games where they beat the two teams in Ohio. Good call, though, Jordan. Appreciate you making it in the frozen tundra, wherever you're calling from. I go, Jordan's like at work. It's like, we don't know what specifically we do. You do something on a crane, I think. I want look, the Dolphins yesterday beat the Bills. Anything can happen in this league. Carolina went into Green Bay and won. We saw the Browns beat the Packers this year. Upsets do happen. I would like to see some of these things that we're giving credit to the Jets actually transfer when the opponents are legit now going forward. I would say you got to win. But you can't get embarrassed. And if Fields is the reason why they have no chance again, then that's on the coach for not making a move and getting Fields out of the starting lineup. If you want a real competitive advantage against the Patriots, start Tyrod on Thursday. That will catch them off guard. PBM writes in, my wife loves a little abracadoodle. Hey, Beast, anything you want to say to PBM's wife? Beast? Beast.
God damn it!
Yes, Beast? Beast Breaker. Trying to do a show here, Beast.
What?
Beast. 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 Beast Breaker. Beast. Where you going, Beast? Beast. All right. We'll check back in a moment with you. In the meantime, let's get back to your calls. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in. My StreamYard was glitching. We don't have a ton of people that are in the raffle right now. Only 5 memberships, and I think only a couple super chats that qualified. I'm going to gift 5 right now. It's our last show before our weekly raffle tomorrow, and we'll give people a chance to win a jersey at the end of this show. So I'm going to gift 5 to the community. I will do it coming up. That will get us to 10 and counting. But what you need to do if you want one is like the video and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And that will help the YouTube algorithm give you a better chance of getting a membership if you haven't gotten one already. So that's coming up. But first, let's take this guy's call as we continue our program.
Beast was busy. He was comparing Johnny Lamb Jones' tightrope catch on the sideline from this past week versus Johnny Mitchell's one-handed grab in the back of the end zone. It was awesome.
I think he really liked that Aaron Glenn kickoff return touchdown.
There you go. So, yeah, I mean, just be competitive this week. Show some improvement on offense. Show that the defense continues to improve with the penalties. Stay in the game. Keep us entertained. That's really all you can ask for. It's a tough ask to go on the road into Foxborough in the middle of November.
Don't get killed. Like don't be in a national embarrassment where everyone's just clowning the Jets again.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I'm looking for. The more I'm thinking about this, like I don't love the quarterbacks so far, and I'll admit that I'm undereducated on the talent in this particular draft.
When you watch quarterbacks, how do you watch them? You're watching all 22 highlights, actual live
It's
games?
mostly highlights, and I do a lot of reading on them. I trust the people that I trust, and I kind of cross-reference it, and I kind of get an opinion about what I think succeeds in the league and what doesn't, and then I kind of say, okay. And like everyone else, I had mixed results. Like, I think my greatest success is like the year he came out, I said, if you're going to swing for the fences, go for this guy, Josh Allen, because the tools are there. And then you can maybe coach him up. And that's the guy I liked in that particular draft. But, I was wrong. I was hopeful on Zach, even though I knew the level of comp wasn't really there. And like there were things about his size. And, I thought his traits were a little overblown. It's kind of a crapshoot. That's why,
but even the guys that are hyped up as can't miss, it's a crapshoot with them too. That's why my thing is there's going to be a couple quarterbacks that emerge from this class that end up having good NFL careers. It's on the Jets to find that one and draft them and develop them and get our guy.
That's why I kind of like if Burrow were to try and force his way out, and you don't know where he'd want to go, right? I wouldn't mind cannibalizing future drafts and seeing if you could take the picks from this year and trade back a little bit and kind of fill out the roster and see if we can't get things ready to roll next year. Because I mean, as far as the talent on the roster goes, we're not that far away. We could use a couple more skill players. We got to make sure that we can either resign a piece on the offensive line or add a piece to the draft, linebacker, safety. Other than that, defensive line. Now it seems like more that I say it out loud. But
but you could fix defense year over year, especially like Steve Wilkes is not surviving the season. Someone's going to be the fall guy for this year, and barring the Jets, winning 6 or 7 games. Like there's going to be big changes coming. Like defense is also so much of it is also luck. There's like a high variance year over year with turnovers and falling on fumbles and like. I'm not as worried about that. I actually think, Kyle, they have the offensive line. They have a legitimate number 1 receiver. They better keep Brees. Let's operate under the premise they didn't trade him because they're going to. Like you have some legit things that help a young quarterback. It's just, can you get the right guy, and is Engstrand the right play caller for him and developer? Like maybe they should look to hire. I'll use Dable as an example, not Dable as like the play caller, but like a guy who's known to work with quarterbacks. Like, say whatever you want about Brian Dable. Like, Dart was his guy. He gets credit for, like, that's the guy I want. Like, do they have the right people that are in the front office and on the coaching staff that are good at evaluating what a NFL quarterback is supposed to look like? Like, who are those people that Muji and Glenn are surrounding themselves with to help them make this decision? And then once they make the decision, actually help that quarterback develop.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see them because I don't think they're going to be able to ever spend this money that they have under the cap in 2026. So you might as well just go out and see if you can re-sign some of these guys like Brees and dare I say AVT. If it makes sense, and kind of go from there. Like, and then you could keep your powder dry. You could say, okay, we'll take the best guard or the best center that comes out, and we'll have that flexibility with Tittman, right? Or, I just feel like the draft is about being opportunistic and marrying value to need as best you can. And I don't want to be even though we are, I don't want to be desperate for a quarterback this year. I just don't see the guy that we want to make our future right now. And maybe I'll feel differently come.
You will. It's November 10th. You will. But you start watching film with these guys. You hear McShay talk about them, and Jeremiah and Zerline and Rogers and all the guys do what they do. You'll feel a lot different. There'll be two guys that you'll be like, I want either one by then.
Yeah, I mean, I consume all that stuff voraciously. I'm watching McShay on YouTube and First Draft with Greeny and Field and Kuiper and reading Dave Brugler and
you're a draft nut. This is what you love.
I do love it. It's a meat market and I'm here for it. But like, it's just I kind of have a feel about the way that it works now a little bit, I think, and I have a little bit of apprehension about this quarterback class for whatever reason. And it might not be rational. It might just be that I've been hurt before, like the rest of us. But
yeah, but I feel like they got to take a swing this year because it's so risky to wait till 27.
Yep. I appreciate your time, Jake.
Kyle, always a great call. Look, I get it. No matter who they pick, I'm going to obviously support and rally around and root for them. But like, none of us know. If it was easy, every team would have a quarterback right now. There would be no draft bust at the quarterback spot. Ladies and gentlemen, we haven't had a ton of memberships during this show. So I said, let me take matters into my own hands. How about a 5-spot from yours truly that were just gifted?
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Jersey raffle coming up with Pat Morgan, Willie D, Scary Perry. Scary Perry's energy drink is actually the full name. They are all now entered in the raffle. So same with NY Jets Girl 11. So there you go. 5 new people are channel members. And that means you get a free super chat a month, all the members only content I post, a badge next to your name, and you're in the raffle. This was just sent to me by a listener named Dixon. A new t-shirt he would like to see made in honor of the beast. Don't just stand there like a tree full of shit. Well said. Black Gypsy, who got into it today with several callers and survived. He gifted a membership. He's in for 1. I'm collecting the entries right now, so that's your last chance to enter. For those wondering about Beast, he's no longer on hold, so we can't check in with the man himself. But at some point, maybe we will. Once again, I showed this earlier when Will and Frankie were on. We all love to talk about next year's quarterback class, right? And Kyle is talking about he doesn't love any of these guys. But a year ago, the guy at ESPN who played the quarterback spot and is always like giving opinions on quarterbacks talked about how loaded the upcoming draft class was going to be. And none of these names here, besides Dante Moore of Oregon, are going to go in the first round. And Moore might not even come out. Mendoza and Ty Simpson are not even listed here. So nobody knows. You can't like, oh, next year's going to be a better class. Maybe Julian Sainz is going to be awesome. Maybe Arch Manning's going to be great. I don't know. Has John Mateer been so good at Oklahoma? We got to take him. I don't know. Mike Duramo is in the raffle for 1. Black Gypsy is in the raffle for another channel membership. Hey now. Matthew Smith says, stop bringing this up. It says could. And? Do you think that changes the premise of the argument here? He listed all these quarterbacks about how loaded next year's class could be. And my point is that none of these names here, besides Moore, are currently right now as things stand, a lock to go in the first round. I don't care if it says could. We're now saying next year's 2027 class could be great. Could be a lot better than 26. We're saying the same things now. Your dumbass point, Matthew Smith, which is what you're known for, dumbass points, doesn't change the premise of the argument. But I'm sure Matthew Smith will now spend the rest of the time in the chat just trolling because that's all he's good for. I get it, Matthew Smith. I get it. But the entire premise of the point I'm making does not change. There's a risk involved in waiting a year. There is. And you are armed now with the draft capital to get your quarterback this offseason in the draft. If you have to trade up, you can do it. I'm not saying trade away 3 1s to move up a couple spots, but if I got to trade away a couple of picks, let's say it's a 2 this year and maybe a 1 next year, one of my 3 1s, I still would have a second round pick and a first this year and 2 more 1s next year. And I'd have a quarterback I believe in. So if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Also, don't you have faith in Muji knowing how to make trades? He's done a good job in that regard, is he not? Anthony in the house. Hey, Jake, put me in, enjoying the show from the car. Anthony Lozerato is in the raffle for 5. Thank you, Anthony. All right, I got time for another call or two if anyone calls in. If not, I will get to the raffle coming up here shortly. Let's see. There was another thing I wanted to show, by the way. I wanted to highlight the offensive line. So this is from Harrison Glazer, who aggregates stats and puts graphics in front of them on his X account. So he took Justin Freed's tweet, but I want to give Harrison credit for the graphic here. Myles Garrett finished with 2 pressures, 1 sack, and a 58.2 PFF pass rush grade in Week 10. It was his lowest pass rush grade of the season and his second lowest single game grade over the last 6 years. Garrett was matched up with Olu for 34 of his 42 defensive snaps and Membu for the other 8. Fashanu and Membu combined to allow 1 sack and 2 pressures all game. Those 2 tackles were outstanding. Outstanding. And they've had really good years. I think Membu has had one of the better seasons you've seen from a tackle. Most guys struggle. Remember how bad Andrew Thomas was with the Giants? Now he's an all-pro. I think we really have something here with these 2 tackles. And I think it's huge for the Jets when you now look at their resources going forward. They don't need to use a single first-round pick on an offensive tackle over the next 2 years now. That's huge when you're building your team. Ladies and gentlemen, dumbass Matthew Smith says, sorry, Jake, I'm not the one that said Brees would be a top 5 running back with the Chiefs, then said to trade him for a 4th-round pick. That's not what I said. I said, if you're not going to keep Brees Hall, then they should have taken the 4th-round pick from the Chiefs. You can't even quote me right. I understand that your brain capacity, Matthew Smith, is this big. I apologize. I feel bad for you. I do. Honestly. It's a shame you have to live your life that way. But that is not what I said. They should take the 4th from the Chiefs if they have no plans to keep Brees. I literally said during the show, I'm going to give the Jets front office and Glenn the benefit of the doubt that they're going to keep Brees because they didn't trade him. So please, Matthew Smith, you said stop backtracking. Call in. Let's have a healthy discussion. But you won't because you sit behind your fat fingers and you tweet and you troll and you Discord and you fight with Spencer Green. Call in, Matt, please. I think I've been pretty consistent that if you're going to not keep Brees, then you should have taken the offer for him, which was a 4th. I want them to keep Brees. We've been talking about this for weeks already. How many times have I said, I don't care who the quarterback is next year, he helps you, and he's great for a rookie. But please. There's people in the chat saying that's not even what I said. I wasted too much time on Matthew Smith for that. I apologize. Honestly, Rick Kemp with a good point. There's a better chance that Jay will get over his Jay syndrome and he will call in before Matthew, I troll with my fat fingers all day long, calls in. Big fella says, speaking of fat fingers, how's Bobby doing? How's Bobby's toe doing? Do we have a toe update from Bobby? Jetstream just gifted 5 channel memberships. Let's go.
All right, here we go, Jay. All right, here we go.
The following 5 people are now channel members. Thank you, Jetstream. Appreciate you. Terminator T800, Valen, Jay Castro, Dave from New Brunswick, and Daniel Yanez. Before we get out of here, who's got a good bet for Monday Night Football? Tell me your best bet. Could be a prop, could be a total, could be a side. Has to be on FanDuel. You got to tell me what you like. Right now, the line is the Philadelphia Eagles are 1.5-point favorites going on the road tonight at Lambeau. Packers coming in off a loss to the Panthers last week. Eagles, Packers, rematch of the playoff game. Who you got? Give me a bet. We'll shout out some at the end. Our last caller is the guy who just called in, and then we'll get to the raffle. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not Matthew Smith and his fat fingers. It is JJ. Hello, JJ.
Yo, I just wanted to call in for 2 reasons. The first reason is because Black Gypsy called in today, and he was really upset because somebody called him an idiot, I guess, in a chat. And he was like, call in and debate me, call in and debate me. Listen, Black Gypsy, as a person who gets called an idiot all the time in the chat, you just got to let it roll off your shoulders, man, because nobody's going to call in and debate you. Half these people who will call someone an idiot in the chat have no clue about football. And the thing that kills me about some of the people in the chat, there are some very intelligent people in the chat, but then there's like maybe 6 or 7 dumb people who swear they know everything about football. They know everything about the Jets. They know the exact way to fix the Jets. And that's like, everyone's entitled to their opinion. So you guys got to relax with the calling people disrespectful names. But it's not going to stop. So it is what it is. Now, second point, I don't care what anyone says. I think Ty Simpson is better than Mendoza. I think Mendoza is kind of like, what's his name? Was it Desmond Ridder who played with Cincinnati that year? And they made it to the college football playoffs. Was that Desmond Ridder?
I think you're right. Yeah, Sauce was on that team for Cincinnati.
Yeah, a little bit overrated because the team was performing, above average, and there's some great players on the team that are making him look good. But I don't think he's as good as Ty Simpson. Or let me rephrase. I think Ty Simpson is going to be a better NFL quarterback than Mendoza. I've been watching some of his film because, like, obviously Justin Fields sucks and he's not going to be in the Ring of Honor, and I was completely wrong about that. So with that being said, I've been looking at who we're going to possibly have next year. And my gosh, I think if we get Ty Simpson and then get like, what's that guy from Ohio State? I think his name is like Jeremiah Smith or something like that in the first round next year. I mean, and then you pair that with
No. I think you mean Carnell Tate, the receiver you're talking about, right?
Yeah, in Ohio.
Yeah, Tate. Tate from Ohio State, I think you're referring to.
Well, whoever it is, I mean, Ohio State has every year just produces wide receiver after wide receiver after wide receiver. But if you get this guy Ty Simpson with a number 1 stud wide receiver to pair that with Garrett Wilson and then Brees, I think we have a chance next year. The more and more I close my eyes and dream about what this team can be, the more and more I'm like, you know what? I trust in Muji that he's going to evaluate a good quarterback, bring something in, and we're going to be cooking with hot grease. Now, Jake, let me ask you this. If we, by somehow, beat the Patriots, how will you feel?
I'll feel great. That would be unbelievable.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I feel like we should have some hope and some optimism because obviously if we lose.
If Sydney Sweeney smothered me with her chest, how would I feel? How would you feel?
I would feel like that's inappropriate and she should ask me before she just touches me. That's how I would feel.
I don't think you feel that way. But okay, fair enough.
As a freshly married man, yes, man. If you would ask me this question a year ago, I would have been like, woo!
Okay, a year ago, and pretend you're single. Sydney Sweeney comes up to you and says, "Hey, JJ," then how you feeling?
She's not my type. I like him a little bit taller.
Okay.
No, I get what you're saying, though. I'm just being a jerk. But no, obviously, if we win, everybody's going to be happy. If it's a big if, we have to go out there and perform. But at the end of the day, I mean, this doom and gloom and, we suck and, whatever, it's boring. So, let's have some fun and have some optimism and watch the game and cheer for our team. Because at the end of the day, the draft pick's going to be what the draft pick's going to be. And whether we have the first overall or we have the 15th overall, we still have to pick a good quality player. So we might as well at least try to have some fun. I'll tell you what, man, the Browns.
I think we're rooting for them to win, but I can't tell any Jet fan to not feel bad going into the game, dude. They're playing they're 11.5-point underdogs. Like in all likelihood, they probably get killed. I hope that's not the case.
Yeah, I think, but weren't we like 9.5 underdogs against the Browns? So the Vegas don't know that much. Vegas is wrong until they're right. But I'll say
Things
this.
happen. I mean, anything can happen in any NFL game. We've seen that, but we got to see it, dude. They right now the Jets' last 2 wins are against bad football teams. If they beat the Patriots, it completely changes how we should feel about this coach and about this team, depending on how it looks, right? But a win's a win. If you get it against New England, holy hell. So we'll see.
Yeah, man. I'll say this: we beat the Browns. Obviously, they're a bad team, but I mean, when you're sitting in the stadium and you're watching that game, and Brees breaks off a 60-yard touchdown run, or what's the guy Williams with the return, or I'm drawing a blank on the other guy who had the big return. Those explosive plays. Like that's what you want to go and see from your team, the explosives. So even though it was an offensive stinker, I mean, we still ended up scoring 27 points, and every step of the way, it was exciting. The little fans that were there in attendance were pumped up at times. Like that's what you want, man. It's still football at the end of the day. So I'm never gonna root against this team just so we can get a draft pick, because I mean, draft picks are hit or miss. Let's root for the team every year. I know a lot of you are done with Aaron Glenn. I am too, until proven otherwise. But slowly but surely, it looks like he might be building something. So I'm going to get right behind.
Contradiction, though. You're telling everyone to be positive. You're like, I'm already done with Aaron Glenn. How about be positive that he can improve and get better, as I've been rooting for him to do?
Yeah, I mean, every week it's a week to week basics with Aaron Glenn. If he freaks up this week, I'm gonna call in. I'm gonna be like, I want him fired. And if he has a good game, I'm gonna say, all right, let's give him one more week and see how he does. You know how I feel. If he doesn't
week with the coach, you have to judge him over the course of the season.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I already told you, if he doesn't win out, then I want him fired. And you said that's not gonna happen. So
yeah, the Jets aren't gonna win out. They're not good enough to win out.
Hey, listen, we beat the Patriots. We're going to the playoffs. All right, good night, Jake.
JJ, I'm not wasting my energy yelling at you. You're insane. But thank you for calling in. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll give this man credit. I said call in with your fat fingers. You won't. Well, guess what? His fat fingers pressed the button and he's called in.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
The great Matthew Smith, everybody.
Yeah, Rick, you're wrong. So you did say that Brees would be a top 5 running back on the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think
if I have to go back, I don't know. I think it was on Bobby's show.
If he went to the Chiefs,
okay, so why would you trade him for a 4th?
Because if they're not going to keep him, I'd rather get something for him. He's a free agent. I don't want.
You're going to get a comp pick.
They're not going to get a comp pick because they're going to spend a lot of money in free agency. And at best, if they do get a comp pick, 1, you can't use it till 2027, and 2, it'd be a projected like 6th-round compensatory pick 2 drafts from now, or not this draft, but the following draft. 27.
So you're still admitting that he has top 5 talent, and then you trade him for a 4th-round pick. But I'd rather have more time to try to see what he can do over the course of the year, see if he can stay healthy, and then go for another run at signing him. Or
dude,
if he has a great year, trade him again.
We agree. What is it? You think you have like this gotcha on me? I didn't want them to trade Brees Hall. My argument was if they have no intentions of keeping him, right? Because people keep saying there's no way he's going to be back here. If that's the case, then don't lose him for nothing. I'd rather get the 4th now when the team was 1-7 at the trade deadline. I wouldn't
have traded him for a 3rd. It was a late 3rd. He has the talent. Keep him. Like,
right, but
you can
the argument was
okay.
That's fine.
Keep him on the team.
But that's not what the argument was, Matthew. If to your point, yes, I agree. Just tag him if you're going to lose him for nothing. But the whole point of what I was saying that specific day you were referring to was if they are not going to bring him back, they have no intentions of using the tag or extending him. I'd rather get a 4th-round pick now than a 6th-round compensatory pick in 2027. That's all I was saying. I agree with your assessment on Brees. I think he's a phenomenal player. I'm wearing his jersey. I've been saying for weeks, I want the Jets to extend him. I want him here. I came up with contract proposals on multiple shows. We use James Cook's contract as an example. 11.5 to 12 million. Like This is not the gotcha you think it is. I never said what you said.
I didn't bring
you said.
it up.
I said
You're the one that brought it up when you called me a dumbass.
no, you brought it up. That's why I responded to you.
You called me a dumbass, and I was like, all right,
Right,
I'm gonna
'cause
bring something up because it's gonna
You
make you get a
misquoted
reaction.
me. You didn't say anything.
It's not misquote. You literally said it though.
What did I say? That he'd be a top 5 running
You
back
said
on the
that-
Chiefs?
Yes, and you would trade him for a 4th round, which would be late 4th.
That's
You
not
did
what
say
I
that.
said, though. You didn't apply the context. I said if he's not going to be on the Jets in 2026, then I would take a 4th for him. You can't be this stupid, honestly. I know
And
you have a
then
tiny
and
brain.
then you say
I get it.
and then
but
you
come
say
on,
he's a top
dude.
5.
If he goes to the Chiefs, I believe he would prove to be a top 5 running back in the sport.
Okay, but then you pick what 138 or something for him.
If he's not going to be on the Jets in 2026, wouldn't you rather get a 4th round pick than lose him for nothing? That was the whole point.
Nah, I wouldn't. Fuck the Chiefs.
Well, Matthew, let me tell you, I take a lot of calls. You, my friend, might be among the dumbest to ever call in. So congrats to you on that. Thank you for calling in. I give you credit for that. But now the world could see the troll of all trolls in the chat. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God, dude. I'm hoping he was just trying to rage bait me, because if he actually thinks that he made a good point with anything he just said there, oh, my God. I want Brees on this team, but if they're not going to keep him, if they've already determined he's not going to be here, yeah, I would have taken the 4th round pick. I'm assuming that was a troll job by Matthew Smith. But if it's not, holy hell, man. Call it out is in the raffle for 1. Dear God. Matthew Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Look, he called in. Give him credit. Was that his first ever call? I don't even know. I know he did come to the draft party. So I have met Matthew Smith in person. I shook those fat fingers and, saw the Twitter fingers in person. But, man. All right. He has to be a troll. It's a pretty good troll. And well played by him if it is. All right. Where do we go from here? Well, I need about 30 seconds or so to finish counting the raffles. So, in the meantime, I give you a little blast from the past. Sit back and enjoy. Mad Max wants to buy your ticket.
I'll pay 25. Is that too little for you? I won't go under 100. Or $105. Does that sound good, Big Show? 105? Yes.
Wait, hold on a second. Why are you negotiating the opposite direction?
I'm just negotiating with Big Show. I'll buy your ticket, What are you saying, 105? 105. $105. 105. Yes, sir. For 1 ticket for the Panthers game. All right, Jake, that's good. Sounds good, Jake.
A deal has been made. Big Cho has officially sold his ticket to Mad Max.
Sounds good, Jake.
One of the worst negotiations I've ever witnessed, but a deal did get done. And then Mad Max reneged on the deal. That scoundrel. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Time to spin the wheel of champions.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Is it, gentlemen, our last daily raffle before tomorrow's weekly raffle, when Bob Sabo will be on the program. Again, thanks to everyone who entered. Good luck to all. But only one listener can win. If you win, just like Dre did on the first show, you got to email me, asmanjake@gmail.com, your name, your address, and the player whose jersey you want. Good luck to all. but your winner is call it out. Ladies and gentlemen, call it out is your winner. Let's go. Bang. Bang. Boom. Hit the Jet chant for him too. Why don't we? Call it out. Congratulations. I'm assuming that is not your government name. It might be. Anyway, love all of you. Matthew Smith, you have fat fingers, but thank you for calling in. Again, love all of you. We're back tomorrow. 2 long shows today. Beningo was on the first one for those of you who have not had a chance to watch that one. We'll talk more about the Jets receiving situation with Garrett Wilson down for 3 to 4 weeks. Talk more about this game tomorrow and a heck of a lot more to break down with this team. It never ends, folks. It never ends. JETS, 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 Jets. In honor of Robbie Sabo being on the show tomorrow, enjoy a blast from the past. Go Jets. Enjoy your Victory Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, Robbie Sabo does a tremendous job, but many are saying, what would happen if a second Robbie Sabo called in to talk Jets and provide a breakdown? Robbie Sabo 2 joins us. Hello, Robbie.
Hey, Jake. I've just lost on this team right now. The chat can kill me, make fun of my pale skin, my freakishly healthy hair, my subway sign that I stole from the 42nd Street stop just to confuse some old lady who pissed me off. All of those things said, I'm still confused about this Beast guy. So he lives in his attic, like alone or with his mom? He has all these awards and trophies, Jake. There's an opening at X Factor. I need a big guy like Beast to protect Fialco from all the ladies trying to help him through puberty. Poor kid is traded in his lunchbox and sippy cup for a Happy Meal. Go Jets and follow X Factor. Don't ask me for the web address. I don't know it. See you, Jake.
Thanks, Robbie, too. Robbie 1, your thoughts.
Who was that? How did that get done? Gator, you son of a bitch. Kudos. It's tremendous.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.